Hey guys, and welcome back to World War II Solitaire board game channel. Today we're gonna do a very special playthrough of The Hunters, German U-boats at war 1939-43. I've already played two careers on this game, one with the Type 7A, one with the Type 7B. And I think the Type 7B I managed to survive the whole campaign, and the first one I was sunk. So today we're gonna play with the Type 7C. And you might ask now yourself, why is this a very special playthrough? Well, I'll let you know. Because I got a very special package in the post the other day, and it's from Boardgame Geek member Live and Let Dice, whose name is Mikael, or Michael in English. I'm gonna translate that too. Sorry for butchering your name. And basically what this is fan-made interface add-ons for the game, which basically just makes the game look a lot better in my humble opinion. So thank you very much for this stuff. I will post a link in the description of the video where you can get all of this. Basically we have new combat mats or U-boat mats for each of our subs. So our Type 7C, let's see if we can find that. We have the 7C flag, here we go. Here we have the Type 7C, so you can see there's quite beautiful, and we have, I like this part, where you have all of the systems which can get damaged, and you know there's little arrows or lines tracking to that specific system, so I think that's quite a lot more, immersive. And then we have, you know, the water levels which can go on, and we have the hull damage and so on. So everything that you have on your original combat mats or U-boat mats are here, just kind of updated. So I think this is a beautiful add-on, and I'm gonna go ahead and try it. But there's more stuff than that. We have a new combat log or ship log, whatever you want to call it, which is also made by Live and Let Dice on Boardgame Geek forums. And I will also post a link in the description where you can find this and print this. And basically it's just the same, but we have some updated graphics, and you know it's in German and so on. So again, gonna make the game a little bit more immersive. And then, but not least, last but not least, we have a big stack of maps. And what is this? Well, I'll tell you. For each submarine type, there's going to be a set of maps. So we are going to look, we have our type name over here. So we're going to go ahead and find our maps for our Type 7C. Let's see. Type 7, there we go. So we have 4 maps here for our Type 7C. They also go for Type 7B. And you can see, sorry, there's actually 5. Oh, there's 4 of them, sorry. And, you know, there's a backside to them as well. So basically you have here for the Spanish coast. Okay, that's for the Type 11 or 9 or whatever that is in Roman numbers. But for Type 7 C, B, and C, we have North America, British Isles, Norway. And we have Arctis, North Atlantic, or North America, I guess it is, Spanish coast, and Mittelmeer. I don't remember which Mittelmeer is, but I think it's what's it called in English? Medelhavet in Swedish. So it's, you know, the Mediterranean coast, I think it's called Mediterranean. Anyway, guys, I'm not gonna get too bogged into this, but also this, so like I said, you have a set of maps for each submarine, and I think that's a good way, because I think the original map, though it was a good idea, but it's sometimes quite confusing on some of the models, I think. So I like this addition. Also gonna leave a link in the description where you can get these maps. And what I'm gonna do now is actually I'm gonna play a game with the Type 7C with these new 3 new add-ons. So again, link in the descriptions to find these add-ons where you can print them yourself for free. Okay guys, let's get going. Alright, so we have our beautiful submarine mat set up. And we have our hull damage and flooding markers placed out. We have 10 ammunition markers for our gun, and you can also see on the mat how many of these you should place out. With this Type 7 submarine, you should have 8 steam torpedoes and 6 electrical torpedoes. You can adjust the mix by 3. I don't like the electricals very much, so I have adjusted by 3 fewer electrical ones. So remember, you have to load your tubes with steam torpedoes. So I got 4 steam torpedoes in my forward torpedo tubes and 1 in my back torpedo tubes, or aft torpedo tube. In my reserves, I have 1 electrical in my aft torpedo reserve, and I have 2 electrical in my forward torpedo reserve. And then I just filled out with my favorite torpedoes, which are the steam torpedoes. Okay, so the first thing we need to do before we get going is to see what our rank will be. And if you remember from the rules, if you start in 1939, you will automatically be Captain Lieutenant, which is rank 2. This boat starts in October 1940. That means we have to roll to see our starting rank. And in 1940, on a roll of 1 to 2, we will be Oberlieutenant. On a roll to 3 to 6, we will be Captain Lieutenant. Oberlieutenant is rank 1, Captain Lieutenant is rank 2. Okay, so let's roll 1d6. And we roll a 3, so that means that we are going to start on rank number 2, Captain Lieutenant. So we take our marker and put it here. Okay, so one thing I just want to tell you before we get going here on our first patrol is that there are many rules to this game. It's very easy to make a small mistake, and I am 100% sure to do a small mistake in this video. If you see a small mistake, just let me know in the comments. That way I can learn from it, and other people watching this video to learn how to play the game can also learn from that comment on a mistake you saw. I know that, for example, on my previous playthroughs, I did a lot of testing or exceeding test depth after doing a night surface attack, which you can't do. And that's, you know, one of the great things with these videos is I learn, I think, as much as you guys do. So I really appreciate you guys taking time to let me know with a timestamp if I did some kind of error or broke some kind of rule. Okay guys, so we're gonna start now in October 1940 and see what our first patrol mission is gonna be. So this time we're gonna roll 2d6 and we roll a 7, and we're gonna consult our U-boat patrol assignment chart. Again, we're in October 1940, so a 7 is gonna be the British Isles. A good place to start, I think. So we have our patrol log sheet, and just again, I'm just gonna do basically I'm gonna pause the recording as I'm shifting from the U-boat map to patrol log sheet to travel maps and so on, for you not to have to waste precious time, you know, on me arranging stuff. So anyway, we start by filling out our commandant name. Let's see, Boardgame. And I have horrible handwriting. You could mistake me for a doctor, but I'm just a nurse. But you could mistake me for a doctor. Okay, so we are going to the British Isles. So it's October 1940. And there we go. So we're gonna go ahead and bring our Type 7 maps out, our Type 7C, and we can see here that we have 4 of these. So we need to find now the British Isle, and that's gonna be, let's see, I'm gonna try to pronounce this, Britische Inseln. So we just take that map out and place our Type 7 U-boat marker on our, let's see, there we go. Actually, it should be over here in France, because after July 1940, you are gonna be stationed in France, and you are gonna have to go through Bay of Biscay. Alright, so we have our U-boat set up. So now we're gonna start rolling for encounters. So we're at the British Isles, but the first travel box is gonna be Bay of Biscay. And we have our encounter chart over here, so we can see that if we roll a 2, 3, or 4, we're gonna have to take an aircraft attack. So we want to roll a 5 or higher here, and we roll a 7, so that means we're good. And that leads to our first transit box. Transit boxes are a little bit better than Bay of Biscay. Here we need to roll a 4 or higher instead of a 5 or higher to not have to meet an aircraft. So we roll 2d6 again. And we roll a 9, so we're good to go. So we are starting our patrol of the British Isles. Our very first patrol, and we roll a 5. So we go to our British Isles encounter chart, and we can see a 5 is a very good target. That's a ship, an unescorted ship, and that's a very tasty treat. So we have switched to our U-boat combat mat, and we're gonna start rolling. The first thing we're gonna do is we just follow this simple chart, and the first thing we start is by rolling for night or day. We roll a d6, and on a roll of 1 to 3 we have daytime, on a roll of 4 to 6 it's night. And we can actually skip this step, because since we're engaging an unescorted ship, it doesn't really matter. So we're gonna go ahead and roll for the size of the ship. 1 to 3 is gonna be a small freighter, 4 to 5 is gonna be a large freighter, on a 6 is gonna be a tanker. So we are lucky enough to get us a tanker. So now we're gonna go ahead and identify that ship, and to identify a ship we roll 2d10. One is gonna represent the first number, and the second one is gonna represent the second number. So the black one is gonna be for the tens, and the white one for the ones. So we have 35. So we go ahead and check our consult our target roster, and remember we have a tanker. Tanker 35 is Davanger, or Davanger, which is 7,100 tons. So we go ahead and take our patrol log sheet, and we make a note that we have spotted Davanger. I like to just add a T here. That is a tanker, and it's 7,100 ton. And then we go back to our combat mat. We are back to our combat mat, and we go ahead and take a tanker. And this tanker is gonna be with 3 hit points, since it's less than 10,000 tonnage. If it would have been 10,000 or more, it would have 4 hit points. Again, it doesn't really matter if it's day or not, so we're not gonna bother with that. We're going to go ahead and make a surfaced attack at close range. There's no escort or wolf pack engaged. We are going to go ahead, and since it's an unescorted ship, we can fire each gun before firing the next to decide how much ammunition we want to spend. So we are going to go ahead and start by firing our deck gun. And I'm going to fire the maximum amount you're allowed to fire, which is 2 deck gun shots, and we're gonna roll 2d6 for that, and we're gonna go ahead and consult our deck gun chart, fire chart for that. So rolling for the first hit, which is 8, and we can see here, on our deck gun fire chart, that 8 or less is a hit in close range. The first one is a hit. And the second one, unfortunately, oh no, not unfortunately, 8 or less means also we roll 5, so that's also a hit, so that's 2 hits. If we would have fired torpedoes, we would have to consult our dud chart, but there's no torpedoes, so we're good. And now we have to see how much damage our deck gun does. If we are lucky enough, we will roll a d6. If we are lucky, we roll a 1. That's gonna do 2 damage. We can go ahead and roll these 2d6 for simultaneously check for deck gun damage. And we roll a 2 and 3 and consult our attack damage chart. Sorry. And we can see on 2, deck gun 1 damage. On 3, deck gun 1 damage. So only a roll of 1 would have given us 2 damage. So we have successfully done 2 hits with our deck gun, and each of those hits have damaged the tanker by 1 point. So he still has 1 hit point. So on our U-boat, we have, if you remember, we have forward torpedo tubes and we have aft torpedo tubes. Our aft torpedo tubes is just, there's just 1 in there, and we're going to go ahead and fire that one at close range. Hopefully take this guy out, so we don't have to waste more ammunition from our forward torpedo tubes. So we do the same here. And it's going to be a surfaced attack, so we're going to get +1 to the chart here. As you can see, again, we're at close range, so 8 or less means we hit. Let's see, night or unescorted surface torpedo attack, so even doesn't have to be surface. Unescorted surface torpedo attack means -1. So roll 2d6. And we roll a 7, and remember 8 or less is a hit, but our 7 turns into a 6, so it's definitely a hit. So now we have to go ahead and see if we have a dud. We are in October 1940, so we're gonna consult this one. So a dud for our steam torpedoes is on a roll of 1 to 2. So let's hope we roll 3 or higher. And we roll a 2, so unfortunately that means our aft torpedo is a dud. So that leaves us with 4 more torpedoes we can go ahead and fire, because we still have torpedoes in our forward tubes. We have 4 torpedoes, but I think that feels kind of like a waste, so I'm gonna go ahead and fire 2 of those. If I don't manage to take out this tanker now, that means we're gonna have to do a escort check. So I really don't want any more misses here, so I'm hoping I'm gonna hit this tanker. Okay, so we roll for the first torpedo and we roll a 7, so that's a hit. Remember, 8 or less is a hit. So the second one, we roll a 9, but we're good anyway, because 9 -1 because of the unescorted surface torpedo turns into 8, so that's also gonna be a hit. Now we're going to go ahead and roll for both simultaneously to see if they are duds. Remember, on a roll of 1 to 2, they are duds. Ooh, okay, so we have 1 dud and then we have 1 hit. So I don't really have, one of the torpedoes are effective, but I don't really have to roll for damage now, since I know that a torpedo can do a minimum amount of 1 damage. This tanker has 1 health point left, so it doesn't matter. But just for learning purposes, I'm gonna go ahead and roll to see what damage this torpedo does. So again, we roll 1d6 and we consult our attack damage chart. And I roll a 2, so that's good damage. That's gonna be 3 damage. That's enough actually to take out that ship alone. Okay, so the tanker is gone, and we are gonna go ahead and go back to our patrol log sheet. So we managed to sink this tanker, so I like to just draw a circle around him, or the tonnage, just to remember that this guy has been sunk. And if we go back to our U-boat combat mat here, you can see that I fired a few torpedoes, so I'm gonna go ahead and reload my forward torpedo tubes with steam torpedoes. In my after torpedo tubes, I only have an electrical one, so I am gonna go ahead and reload with that one as well. And that leaves us back now to the map. We have gone to the first travel box of the British Isles. and we're gonna go ahead and go to the second one now and roll 2d6 and consult our encounter chart. So we roll 2d6 and we roll a 6. And we can see in the British Isles a 6 is going to be a ship plus an escort. So we go to our combat mat. So we have our combat mat, and the first thing we're going to do is put the escort over here, indicating that we have an escort. Then we're going to go ahead and roll a d6 to see what time of day we have. And we roll a 1, so that's going to be daytime. I want to change that into night because I don't like attacking during the day. So I am going to go ahead and try to change from day to night. And we can see here on the chart, success is going to be on a roll of 1 to 4. And we managed to change to night time. So that's great. So what we're going to do now is determine the size of the ship. And we roll a 6 again, so that's going to be another tanker. And that means rolling 2d10. We roll 27 this time. So we go ahead and look at our tank target roster. 27 is going to be Pecten 7500. So we go again back to our patrol log sheet. So we make a note here. Pecten 7500. And we'll go back to our combat mat. So we have another tanker. It's going to be a 3 health points tanker again. I am gonna do a surfaced attack. You know, I like to do those until 941. Once you get a negative escort detection die roll modifier for them, because the allies are getting better equipment. I'm gonna do so at. Let's see. I'm gonna do so at medium range. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Okay, so how many? I'm gonna go ahead and fire from all of my forward torpedo tubes, and that's 4 steam torpedoes. And let's see what happens. Okay, so we're gonna roll some dice again and consult our torpedo deck gun fight chart. So this is gonna be just like the unescorted target, except we are firing at medium range, so we need a 7 or less to hit. However, we have that positive night or unescorted surface torpedo attack, so that means we're gonna need an 8 or less to hit. So we're rolling for 4 of our torpedoes, and the first one is a good hit. That's a critical hit if we were playing Silent Victory, but unfortunately we aren't. We roll for next torpedo and we're all 7. So that's very good. Second one is a hit. Third one is also a hit. And last one. And the last one is also a hit. So I have 4 hits with my torpedoes. So what I need to do now is check for duds. So remember, on a roll of 1 to 2, we have a torpedo dud. Unfortunately, we have, out of the first 2, we have 1 dud. So let's go ahead and check for the next 2. Oof, and we have 1 more dud, unfortunately. So 2 of our torpedoes, all of my torpedoes hit. 2 of them are duds. So let's check out the damage for the ones that hit. And we're all at the same time. Ooh, look at that. The 1 is a good one. So we have 1 and 4. The first one is a 1. That's 4 damage, enough to sink that ship. The second one is a roll of 4, which does 1 damage. So 4 plus 1, I do a total of 5 damage to this poor tanker. It only has 3 in its health points. So that means I've successfully managed to sink that ship. So we're going to go ahead and go to our patrol log and note that. So good patrol so far. We got almost 15,000 tonnage. That's a good deal. We have to be a little bit brave early on in the war, because things are gonna get a lot worse. So now we need to do our escort detection attempt, and I would like to exceed test depth, but you can't, because I can, because I did a surface attack. So we're gonna go ahead and roll 2d6, and we will consult our escort detection chart. we can see that on a roll of 1 or less, we are undetected. We don't have any of these negative die roll modifiers yet, which is good. We will get a +1 in 41, so that's just next year. And the torpedoes we sent out would have been a bad one for us, +1 if we didn't change to night. So a good thing that we changed to night. Also, night surface attacks are going to get +1 next year. So next year things are going to get a lot tougher. But now all I need is to manage a roll an 8 or less to avoid detection. And I roll a 6, so that means we slip away from the escort and we can continue our patrol. Before I do so, I'm just gonna go ahead and slide down our submarine mat down here, and I'm gonna reload my forward torpedo tubes with 4 steam torpedoes. Let's go back to our U-boat mat or travel map or our map. I have trouble keeping map and mat separated. Anyway, that's our second patrol box. So there's a total of 4, so I think we have done very good. Now entering the third patrol box, and we're going to go ahead and roll 2d6 again and consult our encounter chart. And we roll a 7. Let's see what 7 is. I think, yeah, a 7 actually is nothing. So, very uneventful. So we go ahead and just go to the last travel box of the British Isles and roll again. And this time we roll a 4, and I believe a 4 is also nothing. Yep, in the British Isle a 4 is also nothing. So that means we're done now with the British Isles. We need to get back. So our first roll is going to be a transit box. We need to roll 4 or higher to avoid the aircraft. Roll a 9, so we're good to go. And then the last box is going to be Bay of Biscay. We need to roll a 5 or higher to avoid the aircraft. And we roll a 6, so very lucky there. So I think all in all, a very good patrol. Managed to take down 2 tankers, and we took no damage. So I think that's very good. So what you'll do now is just bring out your patrol log sheet. And calculate this. It's going to be, let's see, 1500 minus 400. It's going to be 14,600 ton. I think that's very good. And then you just put an S as successful, because on the third successful patrol you get to roll for crew advancement. So what you'll do now is you'll bring out your submarine again. Let's see if we can just switch these. You'll bring out your submarine. Did you hear the train? And you reload all of your torpedo tubes. So I'm gonna do, just the same as I did, and I'm gonna do this for every patrol. I'm gonna go with 6 steam torpedoes here and 2 electrical ones, and then 1 electrical one here. I have to have 3 electrical torpedoes, unfortunately, because the rules forces me to. It's a solitaire game, so I could ignore that rule, but I like to play by the rules. Okay, so all in all, a good patrol, and that means now that we have to we have to do our refit, and the standard refit, I'll just put an R there. The standard refit is just 1 month. And if you took some damage, you would have some longer refit, but we didn't take any damage, so we're good to go. The next patrol is going to be December 1940, so we're going to go ahead and roll for that again and look at our patrol assignment chart. So we roll 2d6, and we roll an 8, and we go ahead and consult this chart. Let's see, 8 is going to be British Isles again. Okay, so let's hope that we will do as good this time. British Isles. And you know the deal. We go back to our beautiful map. And the first box is going to be Bay of Biscay. I think many people, when you hear those words, Bay of Biscay, or that name, you know, it's horrible. I've died many times in Bay of Biscay, but this time was not that time. So we're all for transit box, and transit box we're good to go also, so that's cool. So we go to our first British Isles box and roll 2d6. And we roll a 5. And if you remember, a 5 is a ship. Unescorted ship. Very good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go to our combat mat. Okay, so we have an unescorted ship. There's no escort. We don't have to determine the time of day. But we need to determine what kind of ship we have found. So we roll 1d6. And we are lucky again. That's 4 to 5. That's a large freighter. So we go ahead and roll 2d10. And consult our large freighter target roster. We roll 75. 75, that's going to be Scotsburg. That's 8,000 tonnage. Man, I think we're quite lucky during this campaign. But I'm not going to say too much because I am going to jinx it and I'm going to get annihilated. Okay, so we got Scotsburg here. On 8,000 tonnage. Again, apologize for the very bad handwriting, but we got Scotsburg here, 8,000 tonnage. Let's see what we can do to this guy. Okay, so first of all, again, when you got an unescorted ship, you don't have to decide how much and what systems you want to engage the ship with. You can do them one by one. So we have let's see, large freighter with 3 hit points, and we're gonna go ahead and fire our deck gun. Let's see, we roll 2d6 for our deck gun, and remember we need an 8 or less to hit. Ooh, first hit, ammo shot is a miss, and the second one is fortunately hit. So let's see our damage. And 2, that's going to be 1 damage. Remember, with the deck gun, only a 1 will be 2 damage. So we managed to do at least 1 damage to the large freighter. So we go ahead and use our 1 torpedo tube, which is in our aft torpedo tube. And we roll 2d6 to see if we hit. Again, we're going to fire at close range on surface attack, if that wasn't obvious. And we roll a 7, so the first one is going to be hit. Let's see if it's a dud. Ooh, it is a dud, unfortunately. So we go ahead and use our forward torpedo tubes. And let's see, yeah, I am going to go ahead and engage with 3 of my torpedoes because this is a juicy target. I don't want to miss it. So we are firing at close range, which is 8 or less to hit. But we are doing a surfaced unescorted torpedo attack, so that means 9 or less to hit. So the first one is a hit. The second one is also a hit. And the third and last one is also a hit. We have 3 confirmed hits. Let's see if these are duds. On a roll of 1 to 2, they're duds. And look at that, we have 2 duds, unfortunately, man. So I'm happy I decided to use 3 torpedoes. But I am gonna have to do 2 damage now at least to bring this guy down. So that means a roll of 1 to 3. Oh, man, I'm lucky. So I roll a 3. We consult our attack damage chart. And a roll of 3 is 2 damage. 4 or more is just 1 damage. That would have meant I would have had to see if some escort would have arrived to defend this poor guy. But no, I managed to get him down or sink him. So that means we are gonna go to our patrol combat log, and we're gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna take the number. So we have successfully sunk that guy, and we are now moving on to our next combat patrol box. I'm just gonna get this out of the way. And we go to next combat patrol box. We roll 2d6. And that's an 11. I can't remember what 11 in the British Isles is. 11 in the British Isles is nothing. So we go to next box. And we roll a 5 again. Are you kidding me? So we roll a 5 again. And that's again an unescorted ship. I think using these improved maps and stuff is giving my crew some good luck. So So we bring out our combat mat again. Again, we're going to fire at close range, while surface, there's not going to be any escort. The first thing we need to do is identify the ship, the unescorted ship. And again, it's a large freighter. We are continuing being very lucky, rolling 2d10. 94, let's consult our large freighter target roster. 94 is going to be Thomas McKean, 7,200 tonnage. So what we do now is we bring out our patrol log sheet. Let's see, 94, large freighter, Thomas McKean. And you don't have to write the names of the ships you encounter. I just like doing it for historical purposes. 7,200 tonnage. Okay, so we go to back to our patrol map. Obviously, after I engaged those ships, I did reload my torpedo tubes. If you remember, I fired 3 torpedo tubes from forward torpedo tubes. 3 torpedoes from my forward torpedo tubes and 1 torpedo from my aft torpedo tube. But we are going to go ahead. Oops, there's a torpedo left there. We're going to go ahead and fire with our deck gun. And again, this is going to be a large freighter with 3 hit points. So we start by firing with our deck gun, firing with 2d6. And remember, an 8 or less is a hit, so the first one is unfortunately a miss. And the second one is a hit. And we roll for damage. And we roll a 3, so that's going to be 1 damage. So we have successfully damaged that large freighter by 1. Whoops. We fire our 1 torpedo. Oh, I messed this all up. We fire our 1 torpedo from our aft torpedo tube. And we hope that we're lucky. We hit on a roll of 9 or less. And we roll a 5, so that's going to be a hit. But will it be a dud? Let's see. We roll a 4, so it's not going to be a dud. Lucky. Let's see what kind of damage we do. And we roll a 3. So if you remember from last time, 3 is going to be 2 damage. So that means the large freighter has successfully been taken out. One thing I saw now that I did I should have reloaded. I accidentally reloaded my aft torpedo tube with a steam torpedo. I should have reloaded it with a electrical one, I think. Yes, because remember I think I accidentally took my torpedo from the forward torpedo reserve. I can't remember what I rolled for the dud, but I'm gonna go ahead and re-roll the dud to see, because the electrical one, or actually the electric one has the same dud rate, so my apologies. The electrical one, you can see the dud torpedo chart. During these times, December 1940, the electric one has the same dud rate. And it's also going to be the same on close range. We're not going to get any negative die roll modifier. We should do in medium and long range. So anyway, first error that I've seen committed, sorry, and I will also remind you that do let me know if I do some kind of error when playing, so other people can also learn. Anyway, we have successfully taken out that large freighter, and that means again we're going to go ahead and go to our combat mat, or patrol log sheet, and we're going to go ahead and circle that beautiful number of 7,200 ton. And let's go back to our patrol map. So we enter the last patrol box of the British Isles with our Type VIIC, and we're going to go ahead and roll 2d10 to see if we find some more nice targets. And we roll a 10. I believe that is going to be an escort. British Isles 10, convoy. So that's a convoy. And that's going to be our first convoy. Very cool. So we have a convoy. Convoys always have escorts. And on top of that, convoys always consist of 4 ships. So the first thing we're going to do here now is decide time of day. And we have daytime, so again I'm gonna try to change that to nighttime. I do that on a roll of 1 to 4. And I managed to change to nighttime, so that's very good. And now I'm gonna go ahead and roll for targets. So we have 1 tanker and 1 small ship. And then we have 1 more tanker and 1 large freighter. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll for these 3 targets, and then I'm gonna to save time, and this is also a tactic I usually do. I roll for the targets, and then I just choose 1, the heaviest target, and then I engage that one. And that also saves time, not having to write down all of the targets. The small freighter, I'm not even gonna go ahead and identify, because I don't want to engage that one. To save time for you and me, that's the way I'm going to do it, and that's also the way I do it when I play without recording. So let's start by identifying the large freighter, and we have a 91, so that's going to be the Kilor on 8,000, sorry you can't see this, 8,300 tonnage. So let's see if we get higher rolls or not on our tankers. 33, and that's going to be 7,000, the British General, so that's definitely not better. And the second one is going to be 91, and that's Icy White 7,000. So we're going to stick with 91, the large freighter, which is Kilor 8,300 tonnage. So what we'll do now is we'll bring out our patrol log sheet. And we take a note here that it's Kilor 8,300 tonnage. And then we head to combat. We're gonna go ahead and attack at medium range while surfaced again. And I am gonna go ahead and send 4 torpedoes from my forward torpedo tubes against this large freighter. And I'm putting a large freighter here to show you that we have a large freighter with 3 hit points. So let's roll for my torpedoes, and on medium range you would need a 7 or higher to hit, but I am firing surfaced, a light surface attack, so that means I need 8 or lower to hit. So the first one is a hit. Second torpedo is also a hit. Third torpedo is a hit. And the last and 4th torpedo is also a hit. So all of them are hits. Let's see if I got some duds. No duds. So the first 2 are successful hits. And then the last 2 are, both of them are duds. So let's see what kind of damage we do with our torpedoes that actually hit and aren't duds. Oh, man. Remember, 4 or higher, that's gonna be 1 damage. So all I do is 1 damage to this guy. That's very bad. That means he has 1 hit point left. That means now we have to roll for escort detection. And if you remember correctly, escort detection 8 or less were undetected. So let's hope for an 8 or less. Yeah, okay, so we're all a 4, so we're good to go. We are going to go ahead and follow this ship, and following is automatic when a ship is damaged. And we're going to go ahead and roll to see if this ship stays escorted or unescorted. On a roll of 1 to 4, it's escorted. On a roll to 5 with 6, it's unescorted. And we roll a 6, so that's cool, because that means the escort goes away, and we can go ahead and fire with our deck gun instead. And we are firing now at close range instead. 8 or less is a hit, so that's a hit. The first one is a hit. It's always going to be minimum 1 damage. There's no duds with our deck gun, so that means we have successfully taken out that large freighter. Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys. This is what I do after every combat. I just go ahead and reload my torpedo tubes, but it might be interesting for you guys to see how much ammunition I got left. I only got 1 electrical back here in my reserve, 4 deck gun shots, and no aft torpedo either loaded in the tubes or with my reserve. So I'm kind of running out of ammunition, but that's cool because this was the last travel box of the game. Of the patrol. So we go to our patrol log sheet and we make a note here with a circle that we have successfully sunk Kilor on 8,300 tonnage. We go back to our beautiful map and we start traveling back to our submarine base in France. And the first one is going to be a travel box. Remember, we need to roll 4 or higher to not have to meet that aircraft. And in the Bay of Biscay, which we are entering now, we need to roll a 5 or higher. Ooh, okay, so we roll a 4, and again, if we check our encounter chart here, we can see Bay of Biscay. On a roll of 4, that's going to be an aircraft. So unfortunately, we are going to have to do an aircraft attack against our ship. So the first thing we do on our aircraft encounter, we look at our aircraft encounter chart. On a roll of 6 or more, we have a successful crash dive here, and that means we avoid the aircraft entirely. So let's hope we manage to roll a 6 or higher. Oh, okay, so we roll a 6, so that means we have successfully done a crash dive and there's not going to be any air attack. You can see on the aircraft encounter there are a lot of die roll modifiers. For example, you could get a -1 if we were in 42, so in 43 you have a -2, so aircraft attacks become very deadly. If we had some green crew or something like that, we would also have some problems. Also, oh yeah, I forgot to put my crew out, but crew always starts on trained level, so that's the way it is. Okay, man. So that is the end of our patrol. We are back to base, and we go again to our patrol log sheet. Okay, so we have another successful patrol. We have sunk a lot of ships here, and I had to use a calculator, but it's gonna be 38,100 tonnage with the 14,600 tonnage that we sunk before. And again, we have 1 month of refit, and that means that next month we're gonna be in February 1941. So now tougher times are coming, so it's a good thing that we sank a lot of ships on these first patrol. Let's see. We have the Type VIIC and Type 7C. How do you even spell that? VI. I'm so bad with the Roman numbers. Okay, so that means we need to roll for our next patrol assignment. Alright, so it's February 1941, and we're gonna go ahead and roll 2d6 to see where we're heading off to next. And we roll a 5. And let's see. Oh yeah, we've been using the wrong. Sorry guys, we've been using the wrong. I see now we're in July, December 1940, and we've been using this one. But I think I rolled 5. Perhaps I don't remember what I rolled the first time, but I think it would have been basically the British Isles anyway. So anyway, this is the one we should use now, and this is the one we should have used before. Sorry. One problem with making these videos is that, you know, there are a lot of things to keep track of as you're playing this game, and then when you're recording, I have to keep track of lighting, I have to keep track of the camera, and then audio. And at the same time, you might see I'm a little bit dirty here, is because I got the grill running. I'm making some barbecued smoked ribs. So you know, a lot of things on my mind. But anyway, this is the one we should use now because we're in February 1941. And let's see, we rolled a 5. So a 5 is gonna bring us to the Atlantic. So we go ahead and in February 1941 here, right, Atlantic. And then we're gonna go ahead and bring out our map for the Atlantic for the Type 7C. Before we do that, I just want to show you this. As always, you just go ahead and put all your ammunition back. to reload your ship. And as always, I'm gonna put 3 electrical reserves. One of them in the aft torpedoes. Whoops, that's for my besättningsquality. Like I said, in my aft torpedo tubes or reserves, I'm gonna put 2 electrical ones, the rest steam, and or the other way around in my forward, and in my aft 1 electrical, because unfortunately I have to bring with me at least 3 electrical. So I'm all loaded up and ready to go, and that means we're gonna go ahead and head out to the Atlantic. Alright, so we are in France here, and we have our North Atlantic map for our Type VIIc, and we're gonna go ahead and head into Bay of Biscay and roll to see if we are unfortunate enough to meet another aircraft. And we're all 8, so we're good. Remember, we need to roll 5 or higher. And now in the transit box, we need to roll 4 or higher, and we roll 11, so we're good to go. Alright, so we are in our first patrol box. And we roll a 7. So let's go ahead and check out our encounter chart for the Atlantic. And 7 is going to be a convoy. Very cool. Okay, so the first thing I am going to do is just to see what time of day it is. And it's nighttime, but that's good because I only engage during nighttime. I don't like, since I only use these steam torpedoes, I don't really like engaging any ships at all during daytime. So we bring out our combat mat, and I am gonna go ahead and attack at medium range, and since it's 941 now, I am gonna go ahead and attack submerge. Since we have a convoy, we also have an escort. Remember, there's always an escort if there are a convoy. So now we need to identify these ships. Convoys always consist of 4 ships, so let's see what kind of ships we have in this convoy. We roll a D6, we have 2 tankers and 2 small freighters. So, as you know guys, I'm not gonna go ahead and identify those small freighters. I don't see a purpose for that. I'm just gonna go ahead and identify our tankers. So we have 2 of them. And the first one is number 11, and that's Caroni River, 7,800 tonnage. And then the second one is 48, and 48 is, ooh, that's a good one. E.R. Brown, 10,500 ton. So we're gonna go ahead and bring out our patrol log sheet. And make a note here. E.R. Let's see what's called E.R. Brown. E.R. Brown. 10,500 ton. So that's gonna be a large tanker. So we take our combat mat here and we place out our tanker here, and this time it's gonna have 4 hit points since it's 10,000 tonnage or more. I am gonna go ahead and take all of my 4 steam torpedoes from my forward torpedo tubes and send towards this guy at medium range while submerged. So we need to roll some D6 again to see if they are hits or not. Alright, so let's see. We are firing at medium range. So that means if we take a look at the U-boat torpedo deck gun fight chart, medium range we need a 7 or less to hit. Unfortunately, we don't have the -1 for night or unescorted surface torpedo attack. Okay, so you might wonder why I want to fight at night. That's because these steam torpedoes is gonna make it easier for the escorts to detect me if I fire them during the day. Okay, so let's see if they hit or not. 7 or less to hit. Okay, so the first one is a hit. Second one is also a hit. Third one is a hit. It's looking good, guys. And the fourth one is a miss. Okay, so we have 3 out of 4 hits. That's good. Now we need to see if they are duds or not. And something has changed now because we are in 1941. So the dud rate is just going to be 1 for my steam torpedoes and my electrical ones. So it's going to be a little bit easier now to avoid those duds. So unfortunately, one of them is a dud, but 2 of them are hits. So let's hope I make some nice damage. Let's roll for both of them at the same time to see what damage they do. And that's a good one because number 2, that's gonna be a 2 is gonna be 3 damage, and then the 5 is gonna be 1 damage. 4 or more is always 1. So that means we successfully done 3 plus 1 damage. That's 4 damage, and that means this tanker is a goner. So we have successfully sunk the tanker. So what we do now is, again, we take out our patrol log sheet, make a little circle around this tonnage of the tanker to remember that we have successfully sunk him. And then we're gonna go ahead and roll again because now it's time for escort detection. And what I'm actually gonna do now is I am gonna exceed test depth. And when you exceed test depth, you get minus 1 to the roll, because remember you need to roll 8 or lower to be undetected. And when you exceed test depth, you take 1 damage to your hull damage. And then what you have to do is you have to roll 2d6, and if it's lower than the hull damage, you are sunk. But if it's the same amount as your hull damage, you just take 1 additional damage and you roll again. But since you have to roll 2d6, it can't be the same or lower. So I don't have to roll the first time I'm taking hull damage for exceeding test depth during the patrol. Okay, but we are going to roll for escort detection now, and usually we would have to roll. Let's look at this chart to make it easy for you guys to see. So first of all, we have to roll 8 or less to be undetected, right? But we're in 1941 now, so that's a +1 to my roll. So that basically means I have to roll 7 or less to become undetected. However, we have exceeded test depth, so then we're back to rolling 8 or less. So again, I need to roll 8 or less to be undetected. Ooh, I roll a 10. So that's not good news, guys, because that means I am detected. And that means we have to go to escort air attack chart. So now we're gonna roll to see how many hits I receive from this escort. And 3, that's a good number. That's not terribly bad. So we have roll to 2 to 3 is ineffective. So we're good. But we still have to do another escort detection attempt. So this time, first of all, I'm not going to exceed test depth. Or actually, I think I will. Okay, so I'm going to exceed test depth. So the first thing I do is I take 1 damage to my... I'm going to show you guys. I'll take 1 damage here, whole damage. And then I'm going to go ahead and roll 2d6. If I roll 2, I'm going to have to re-roll. I roll a 9, so we're good to go. And then we're going to roll again, and we'll see here on the chart that 8 or less to be... I don't know why it doesn't focus. There we go. 8 or less to be undetected. +1 because we're in 1941. +1 because previously detected. So that means we have to roll 6 or less to be undetected. But we have exceeded test depth, so that's going to be -1. So that means we have to roll 7 or less to be undetected. And we roll 6. So we are actually good. That means we slipped off from the escort. We don't have to worry about the escort taking us down. Now what we can do is actually we can try to follow this convoy. And basically we roll 1d6. And if we roll 1 to 4, it's a success. We have been able to follow the convoy, and we will roll for 4 new targets. First of all, I'm going to get rid of these, and I am going to reload my forward torpedo tubes with 4 steam torpedoes, and rolling that dice. So that's a 3. 1 to 4 is a successful following of the convoy. So we have managed to follow the convoy, And now I am gonna go ahead and we have an escort again. I am gonna go ahead and roll to see if it's night or day. 1 to 3 is gonna be day, 4 to 6 is gonna be night, and it's night time. That's what I like to see. So I'm gonna roll for 4 new targets. So we have 2 small freighters. And then we have 2 more small freighters. And actually with 4 small freighters, I'm not going to go through the trouble because we have an escort. And I just don't think it's worth it. I've already taken down a large freighter, or I believe perhaps it was a tanker, this patrol. So I am going to skip that encounter. And we are going to go ahead and go to our next travel box. Sorry about that, should be on the second box. Okay, so my ribs have been eaten and my fingers aren't going to be black from the coal and longer, and I can focus a little bit better on the game. Okay, so we're in the second box here, and we're going to go to our encounter, sorry, not encounter chart, our U-boat patrol assignment chart. And don't mind my babbling, my ramblings last time, because I went back through the material after eating my ribs, and I could see that I had in fact rolled on the correct chart, which is this one, and so currently we're in that one. So don't mind my earlier ramblings. I'm gonna try to focus up a little better here to ramble less, and I'm rambling again. Okay, so we're in this second travel box of the Atlantic, and we're gonna roll 2d6 to see our second encounter. We roll an 8, and we go to our patrol assignment. Sorry, that's the wrong one. Encounter chart Atlantic, and 8 unfortunately is nothing. So we go to the next travel box with our Type VIIC submarine, and we roll a 4. That could be something interesting. Atlantic, 4 is nothing. Okay, so we go to the last travel box. Last chance here, guys, to do some good for the Kriegsmarine, and we roll an 8. I think we did that earlier. 8 again, nothing. Whew. So quite an event-less patrol. However, we did sink one. I think it was a tanker. So we go back now to the transit box, and you know the deal. We have to roll 4 or higher. We roll 8, so we're good to go, and we go to Bay of Biscay, and we roll a 3. So that means we got an aircraft encounter. So we have our chart here for aircraft encounters. And we see here again that 6 or more we have a successful crash dive. So let's hope that we can do that to avoid taking damage. Yeah, we roll a 9, so that means we're good to go. We don't take any damage from the aircraft. We have successfully managed to return from patrolling the Atlantic. So we have returned here to our submarine base in France. And that means we should go back to our patrol log sheet. And let's see, so I did 10,500, I sunk 10,500 tonnage. So that's gonna be, let's see, that should be 40, oh man, me and math, should be 48,600. 48,600 tonnage. And that's my 3rd successful patrol. That means we're gonna get to roll on crew advancement. We're gonna do that in a bit. So notice that this time we aren't gonna use 1 month of refit. We are gonna do 2 months of refit, and the reason is because I took hull damage while doing the exceeding test depth thing. Okay, so let's go to our beautiful submarine and do our refit. Basically, the hull damage goes back to 0. We're gonna go ahead and reload all of the reserves with our spent torpedoes. Only spent 4 steamed torpedoes for this previous patrol. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so let's see. So we're gonna go ahead and roll for crew advancement now, and you'll find the chart for that on the last page of the rule book. So let's bring that out. So here we have that chart, crew advancement. So we roll a d6, and I'm hoping for a 5 or 6 because I kind of want my crew to become better. And we roll a 5, very nice. So 5, that means our generic crew skill increases 1 level. So you can see our generic crew, which is trained, goes to expert. So let's find that marker. Or actually it goes to something called veteran. And it could go all the way up to elite, and if you get it to elite, you have quite a nice advantage there. But veteran is still good because that's going to give me some better flock against when I'm firing against aircraft. So that's pretty good. Okay guys, so our refit is done here. We're gonna go ahead and roll for another patrol. So we bring out our Kriegstagebuch des Unterseeboten and see, yeah, we haven't named our U-boat yet. 137, I guess. Okay, so let's see, let's roll for our, what patrol we're gonna go to. And we're gonna roll 2d6. And we roll 9. And we're in March 1941 now. So let's see where we're gonna go. March 1941, 9. It's gonna be another patrol to the British Isles. So lots of patrols to the British Isles these days. And again, I do apologize for my very awful handwriting. So we bring out our map for the British Isles and put our Type VIIC marker here. Sorry, that should be, yep, no, it's in the right place. Okay, so we bring back our dice tower because, as you know, the first travel marker is going to be the awful Bay of Biscay. And we roll a 4, so unfortunately that means we're going to have an aircraft encounter. Remember, within Bay of Biscay we need to roll 5 or higher to avoid those aircraft. So again, we need to roll 6 or more to successfully crash dive. Let's hope we do so. Ooh, come on. Oh yeah, okay, that's lucky. We did manage to avoid that aircraft rolling a 6. So we are traveling from Bay of Biscay to Transit Box. And we need to roll a 4 or higher to avoid any aircraft. So that's cool, we do avoid it. And let's see, we are entering the first travel box of the British Isles. I don't know which one should be the first one. I'm guessing, yeah, maybe actually this one should be the first. It doesn't matter, obviously, but anyway, let's roll for our first travel box in the British Isles. We go to our encounter chart. British Isles will roll a 7, and the 7 is nothing. So we go to the next travel box. We roll a 4, and let's see, 4 again, nothing. Third travel box, hoping for some more action. 8, I believe 8 is a convoy in the British Isles. 8 is actually an unescorted ship. I'm being very lucky this game with unescorted ships. I think this is the third one. So we're gonna roll to see the size of the ship. And we're gonna 3, so that's not a very good one. It's a small freighter, but it's still pretty good. So we are gonna go ahead and take out our combat mat, and we're not gonna use an escort. Obviously we're gonna fire at close range. While surfaced, since he doesn't have any protection. We're not going to roll for time of day because that doesn't matter. We're going to roll 2d10 to identify the ship, and we roll 23. So we go to our target roster and we look for a small freighter. Small freighter number 23 is Grey Gwen, 3,700 tonnage. So we are going to make a note of that. What is it? 23, 3,700. There we go. Okay, so we have a small freighter which has 2 hit points. So I could potentially take this guy out with only engaging him with my deck gun. So I'm going to start by firing my deck gun at close range. I need an 8 or less to hit. And I'm rolling the wrong dice. I'm never going to get 8 or less with those. I roll a 9, so unfortunately the first one is a miss. And so is the second one. That's I guess it's a very small target since they're missing at close range. So I'm firing my steam torpedo, which is in my aft torpedo tube. And here I need 9 or less to hit. And I roll a 7, so that is a hit. Let's see if it's a dud. Remember, duds are used once now, so that's not a dud. And damage, we roll a 4. 4 is going to be 1 damage. Okay, so we sent 2 deck gun shots at this guy and 1 steam torpedo, and he's still alive. That is not good. And I think actually what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send all 4 torpedoes at him from my forward torpedo tubes. And the reason why I'm doing so is because I only have 1 travel box left. The first one is a hit. So I'm not going to need all of that ammunition, and I don't want to let this guy go. Second one is also a hit. Third one seems to be a miss. Yep. And the fourth and last torpedo is also a miss. So maybe it was good that I actually did that. Send 4 torpedoes at this small ship. Okay, let's see if these are duds. They are duds on a roll of 1. Yeah, look at that, guys. I sent 4 torpedoes out. Only 2 of them hit, and out of the 2 that hit, only 1 actually did damage. So 1 was actually active, 1 was a dud. So let's see the damage of that bad boy. And I roll a 6, that's just 1 tiny damage. So it's enough to sink this guy. But that's actually quite interesting. Sending 5 torpedoes and 1 deck gun ammunition to take him out. Okay, so that's it. He's done. We go back to our patrol assignment. Our combat log, patrol log. And we make a note that we have successfully sunk Grey Gwen, a small freighter, on 3,700 ton. Before that, let's go back to our combat mat. I usually don't show you this guy because it's just boring, but basically what I'm doing is I'm just reloading my tubes here from my reserve. So you see, as usual, quite a lot of ammunition left. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and enter the last travel box of the British Isles before we head to the transit box. And roll a 9. And let's see, British Isles 9. And 9 is actually nothing, so lucky for us, we did find that straggler, the unescorted ship, otherwise we would have had a failed mission. So we're in the transit box, we need to roll 4 or higher to avoid aircraft, and we roll at an 11, so we're good. Now we are in Bay of Biscay, we need 5 or higher. I think that is enough, yeah, for Bay of Biscay. Well, I hate Bay of Biscay. Okay, we're back in France here, reporting in. And we go to our log sheet here. So 3,700. Man, I need to do math in front of you. I'm going to pause the camera for this. Okay, so it's going to be 52,300. Let's see here. 52,300. And we have another successful patrol. And this time we're just going to have a refit period of 1 month since we actually didn't take any damage at all. Okay, I'm trying to look out here. October 1940 was when I started, so I have to remember in 1941 October I'm gonna roll for any possible promotion to my commandant. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and reload my tubes or my reserve with some nice steam torpedoes. And we're gonna go ahead and head out again. Okay, so I'm bringing out my log sheet and we're gonna go ahead and roll 2d6 again. We roll a 9. And let's see, that's the wrong side. A 9 in, what date is it? July 1941. It's gonna be the British Isles yet again. So a lot of trips to the British Isles. Let's see. I guess these guys know their way around that place now. Okay, so we are starting in Bay of Biscay. Remember, we need a 45 roll of a 5 to avoid aircraft. And we roll 6, so we're good to go. In transit, we need a roll of 4 at least to avoid aircraft. And we roll a 2. Man, these aircraft kills me after than escorts do, so I really hate them. Okay, aircraft encounter again. We need to roll 6 or more to successfully crash dive. Okay, we're all 7, so we're good to go, guys. I've been lucky this time I've encountered aircraft. So we're at the first patrol box of the British Isles. And we roll a 7, and that's the wrong side. British Isles 7 is gonna be nothing. So we go to the next box. And we roll a 6. And 6 is gonna be a ship plus an escort. So you know what I like to do, guys. First I want to see if it's night, time of day. That's daytime, so we're gonna try to change that to nighttime. We do that successfully on a roll of 1 to 4. And roll a 1, so we're good to go. We have a ship at night time. So we're bringing out our combat mat. And we have an escort. It's night time. We are definitely going to attack at submerged. And let's see what range. We're going to go ahead and roll to see what ship is being escorted. And it's a large freighter at least, so that's good. And we're going to have to roll to identify him. And it's a large freighter, number 30, that's close. Number 34 is a holy ship. It's a very big one. But it's, so number 34 is the Empress of Britain, 42,300 ton. That's the one you're hunting. Unfortunately, we get 30. That's not a very good one. 5,200. Jose de la Rinja. Usually, I am a little bit reluctant to engage ships which are not too big when they have escorts, but I think 5,200 I have to give it a try. So I hope I'm not going to regret it. We are going to bring out our patrol log sheet and make a note of this guy. Let's see, Lord Freighter. Man, I already lost him. It was number 30. Let's see, Jose de Larinaga, and he is, or she is, 5,200 ton. Okay, so we got that noted on our patrol log sheet, and we're gonna go ahead and do some combat now. So we have a large freighter, and even though it's not very large, it is a large freighter with 3 hit points, and I'm gonna attack at medium range, and I'm gonna do so with 4 torpedoes from my forward torpedo tubes, and I'm gonna do so at submerged. So let's roll some d6. Let's see here, guys. Okay, so I need at medium range, in case you forgot, I need 7 or less to hit. So the first hit roll is a 4, so that's a hit. Second one is a 7, so that's also a hit, very lucky. Last one is a miss. I rolled 10. I need 7 or less. Last one is also a hit, but very on the line there. Okay, so I need to see if I have some duds, and in case you forgot about the duds, here we have the chart for that, and in 41 or later for steam and electric, a roll of 1 out of a d6 is a dud. So out of my 3 torpedoes, none is a dud, so that's very fortunate. And I actually don't need to roll for damage because I have 3 torpedoes which are hits and not duds, and if you remember correctly, a torpedo can do at least as a minimum 1 damage, so this ship has been sunk successfully, even with the lowest amount of damage. However, we're not in the clear yet because we do have an escort, and you can guess what I'm gonna do. I am gonna go ahead and, as always, exceed test depth during late war to avoid this escort, because we have, if we look at the escort detection chart, we have this -1 for 941 plus 1, and then we have the exceed test depth -1, so that equals that. So 8 or less is basically what we have to roll, or it's literally what we have to roll to avoid this escort. Ooh, we rolled 7, so it would have worked even without, or would it? Yeah, it would have worked even without exceeding test depth, but we're safe. We survived to fight another day, so I'm happy. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and go back to our patrol log sheet and mark up that ship we just sunk. So another successful engagement. And we go back to our map, and we have 1 travel box remaining in the British Isles, and we roll a 10, and in the British Isles a 10 is a convoy. That's cool. Okay, so as usual guys, we're gonna start by rolling time of day. It's daytime. We are gonna try to change the nighttime on a roll of 1 to 4. And yeah, we managed to change the time from day till night. So that's cool. So we are engaging an escort, a convoy, at night time, and convoys always has escorts. We're gonna go ahead and identify the ships in the convoy. So that's 1 small freighter, 1 large freighter, and 1 tanker and 1 small freighter. So we're not going to mind the small freighters, we're going to leave those be, but we are going to go ahead and identify the large freighter and the tanker, and then we're going to choose the bigger target and try to take him out, or her out. Okay, so we roll for the large freighter first, and we roll 39, I want to get 34. Rotorua, that's 10,900, so that's not too bad. Let's see how we do on the tanker. We get 9, and 9 is a bad one. Shasti Maersk, 5,200. So we're gonna go with the 39. Rotorua, 10,900. So we're gonna bring out our patrol log sheet. Rotorua, let's see. 10,000, I see 10,900. That's a big, nice target. See if we can get that without being detected by the escort. Okay, so I'm gonna fire at medium range again, and again I'm gonna take 4 steam torpedoes from my forward tubes and send his direction. And the freighter, the large freighter, is gonna have 4 hit points since it has more than 10,000 ton. So let's roll some d6 again, guys. Okay, so the first one unfortunately is a miss. We need 7 or less to hit. The second one is a hit. The third one is a miss. So let's see the last one, the fourth one. Ah, the fourth one is also a miss. Horrible. Okay, so let's see if it's a dud, the one that we actually do hit with. Okay, it's not a dud, fortunately. Let's see the damage it does. And we roll a 3. I believe 3 is 2 damage. Yep, 3 is 2 damage. So I managed to do 2 damage to him. So I don't manage to sink him, unfortunately. And that means we have to do escort detection. And that's never fun. I am going to go ahead. You can see my U-boat math here. I am going to go ahead and take 1 hull damage. And we are going to go ahead and roll for exceeding test depth. So remember, if I get an equal, that is 2. I have to re-roll and take 1 damage. And if I would have rolled lower, I would have sunk. Okay, so we rolled 4, so we are safe from the exceeding test depth. And what we're going to have to do now is roll for escort detection. So we need to roll 8 or less to become undetected. That's a good roll there. The first one is a 1, so oh yeah, okay. So we roll 3, so we are definitely undetected. So we escape from the escort, and now we're gonna follow this damaged ship. Remember, following is automatic when it's damaged, and we're gonna roll to see if the escort stays with that ship or not. On a roll of 1 to 4, it becomes remains escorted. On a roll of 5 to 6, it becomes unescorted. And we're all a 6, so that's beautiful, because that means the escort goes away and we're free to take this guy out without much of a risk. So we're going to go ahead and engage him with our deck gun at close range while surfaced. And I should roll 2 dice. So the first one is a hit, 8 or less is a hit, remember, and the second one is also a hit. And deck gun does, just like torpedoes, a minimum of 2 damage, so with 2 hits that large freighter is gone. So I've successfully taken him out, and that means we should go back to our patrol log sheet and circle him. So wow, we killed quite a lot of ships during this career. So we go back to our patrol map, and we see that we have been to all the travel boxes. Now we need to go back to France. Transit box, we don't engage any aircraft, or no aircraft engages us. Bay of Biscay, we need a 5 or higher, and we rolled 6, so that means we're good. We have successfully been able to return to France. So I'm gonna have to do some mathematics again. Let's see, we scored 16,100 tonnage of enemy shipping. That's pretty good. 16,000, so that should be 100, so that should be 68,400 tonnage now, and our 5th successful patrol. So I think that's pretty good. And about refitting, let's take a look at our U-boat. So we did take 2 hull damage. That's going to be 1 month extra of refit. We spent 2 ammunition points from our deck gun, and we spent a total of 8 steamed torpedoes. So I'm going to go ahead and restock those. And we still haven't taken any damage to any system. That's quite incredible. We still haven't taken any damage from any aircraft or any escort. So I am, whenever things go this good, I'm just waiting for something horrible to happen. So don't leave me, guys, because I promise you something horrible is gonna happen very soon. Okay, so let's take a look at where our next patrol is gonna go. Before we do that, though, I'm gonna do our refit and refit. So we're gonna be in October 1941, and since we are leaving in September 41 and actually heading out on patrol, which is gonna last in October, I'm gonna wait until this patrol is over until I roll for my captain promotion. Remember that your captain will be attempt a promotion every 12th month of active service. Okay, so we're gonna roll some d6 now to see where we're gonna go. Again, we're in October 41, so we're just gonna roll on this chart here. 2d6, and we roll 9. So 9 is gonna take us right back to the British Isles. This is kind of fun because this happens quite often. I think that you get this career where you just go back and back to the same place, and actually I don't mind because British Isles has quite a lot of unescorted ships. So we should make a note about where we are heading. British Isles, and we'll grab our map, and we head to Bay of Biscay, and we need to roll 5 or higher and 4 or higher on the transit box, and we avoid those pesky aircraft. So this is our first travel box of the British Isles, and we roll a 7. I believe 7 is nothing, right? Yeah, 7 is nothing. I played this so much I can remember the encounters. And we roll a 7 again, and you know it, guys, 7 is nothing. Come on. 7 again, that's the third 7 I get, and we're in our last patrol box now, so I really need to get something to kill, otherwise it's gonna be a failed patrol. Oof, 11, I think 11 is also, man, 11 is also nothing. So that's horrible, because that means we failed our patrol. We're gonna have to go back in shame. No aircraft in the transit box. Let's see what hides in Bay of Biscay. Ah, darn it, I dropped the dice. 6, so we're good. We're back in France. Okay, so my luck is changing. So I told you guys, things are gonna go downhill. Okay, so we have our first failed mission here. We're still gonna have to refit 1 month. And so we're still at 68,400 tonnage, and we have our first failed mission. Very sad. So before we head out again, you know, of course I didn't use anything from this guy since we didn't engage any ships, but before we head out I am gonna go ahead and roll for we can have this down here, roll for captain promotion. And for some reason the captain promotion chart is hidden on page number 17, so in the middle of the rulebook we find that roll 1d6 for promotion with a roll of 1 of 4 being successful. The following roll modifiers apply, and the one that's going to apply now is the +1 for each unsuccessful patrol during the 12-month period. So we're going to have to roll at least 1 to 3 because of that on a d6. So let's see, 50% chance. And we roll a 2, so that's cool. That means our captain has successfully been promoted. So our captain goes to rank 3, which is Korvettenkapitän, instead of rank 2. So basically, I was rank 2 before, and what that lets you do is it lets you roll a dice before you do your patrols, and on a roll of 1 you actually get to choose where you want to go patrolling. I haven't done that because that is voluntarily and I haven't felt like it. With rank 3 you also get this bonus, but you also get before you have to roll 1, let's see, you have to roll a 1, and on this one it's 1 to 2. So it's easier to get that patrol. Other than that, your refit period is going to be shortened by 1 month if it's 5. Sorry, if it's 3 or 4 months, it's going to be shortened 1 month. So if you have 3 months of refit, it's going to be 2 months of refit. If it's 4 months of refit, it's going to be 3 months of refit. So that's the advantage I have now as rank 3. Okay guys, so we are gonna head out on our next mission or next patrol, and let's use our captain ability now to see maybe I can choose where to go. It's a little bit easier now because I only need a roll of 1 to 2, and I roll a 6, so of course I'm not gonna get to choose. So let's see where we're gonna head off to, and I roll a 9, and we're in December 41, so things are gonna get a lot tougher soon. And guess what, guys, we're back to the British Isles. I'll be damned, man. Okay, so British Isles. So we're off to the British Isles, and we're gonna go ahead and bring out our map. And we're in the first travel box. We're gonna head to Bay of Biscay, where we need to roll 5 or higher to avoid aircraft. And we're all a 7, so we're good. In the transit box, we need to roll 4 or higher. And we enter our first travel box. And we roll an 8, and I believe 8 is an escort in the British Isles. 8 is a ship, actually. It's an unescorted ship. Man, I'm quite lucky with these unescorted ships. Let's identify it. Again, we have a small freighter. I was kind of hoping for something bigger, but we roll 66. So let's see our target chart or target roster. 66 is going to be Caribou on 5,000. So that's quite good for a small freighter. So we're going to take a note of that. Let's see, Caribou on 66 is 5,000 tonnage. That's actually not bad at all. So we're going to go ahead and put our map aside. Take out our combat mat. We don't have any escort. We don't have to care about the time of day. We're firing a surfaced attack at close range. And we're going to go ahead and put our small freighter here at 2 hit points. And then we're going to go ahead and send out some, let's see, deck gun ammo. We start with that. Firing with our deck gun. We need to roll 8 or lower to hit. Let's hope I hit with both shots. No, first one is a miss. And second one is a hit. Let's roll for damage. If I roll a 1, I take him down. But nope, I roll a 5, so that's going to be 1 damage. Okay, so I take my aft torpedo, which is a steam torpedo. And I need, because I'm doing a unescorted surface attack, I need, instead of 8 at close range, I need 9 or lower to hit. And I roll 7, so that's a hit. Let's see if it's a dud or not. It is not a dud, so that means he's taken out. I roll 1, that's 4 damage. So this guy is definitely a goner. So the poor small freighter is taken out. And I'm reloading my aft torpedo tube with electrical torpedo. And the reason why I'm not, I could effectively show you all of these things, you know, with the camera. Whoops, I can't grab it. But I'm not gonna, because I think it's easier for you to watch if I'm giving you a closer picture at what I'm currently doing. So anyway, if you think it would have been better to zoom out, let me know, guys. But I actually think it's easier to follow what's happening this way. And I've gotten pretty good at just shifting the things like this. I know how to put them just to be able to quickly change the thing I'm doing. Okay, so we're marking Caribou, 5,000 ton. That's been sunk for sailors. And we are entering our second patrol box of the British Isles. And we're all a 7. That's an unescorted ship, I think. No, that is nothing again. Lots of 7s. And we're all an 8 again. And if you remember correctly, 8 is a ship. So that's an unescorted ship. Let's see what size. Unfortunately, it's a small freighter again. And it's going to be small freighter number 46. So small freighter number 46 is going to be Erato. So that's a shitty ship. That's 1,300. So sometimes you're unlucky and get those. 1,300. I'm guessing it's a little bit stupid to complain when you're fighting ships which you don't need to deal with escorts, but 1,300 is, you know, it's barely worth my time. So we're gonna go ahead and, as usual, fire on close range with our deck gun ammo first. Surfaced. First one is a miss. I need 8 or lower to hit with the deck gun. Second one is a hit. And it does 1 damage. So I'm gonna go ahead and send out my electrical torpedo, which is loaded into my aft torpedo tube. And I need 9 or lower to hit, so that's a hit. Let's see if it's a dud. It's not a dud, and it does 2 damage. So this guy is definitely gone. So that's another ship sunk, and I'm currently out of ammunition in my aft torpedo tube, but that's cool because I don't really use that unless there's a really big need to. So we go to our patrol log sheet. We mark down Errado 1300. He's been, or she's been sunk, and we go back to our patrol map. Entering the last travel box of the British Isles. Whoops, keep dropping them die. And we're all 8 again. I can't believe it. 8 again, guys. 8 is an unescorted ship. Let's see the ship size. It's a small freighter again. Hoping it's not going to be such a small freighter. We get number 92. Let's look at the roster for small freighter. 92 is going to be Bancrest 4400. Now that's a little bit better. So we go ahead and note that. I wonder where all the escorts are. Let's see. What do I say? 92 Bancrest. 4,400 ton. Okay, we are gonna go ahead and engage him, and I think you have learned the procedure, the normal procedure. I'm gonna go ahead and send out 2 deck gun shots at this guy first, and hope at close range while surfaced, and hope that's enough to take him out. Okay, let's see here, guys. I am gonna go ahead and change my camera a little bit. There we go. So, need 8 or lower to hit. First one is a hit. The second one is also a hit, so I could roll for damage. Oh, actually the damage, 1 is 2 damage, so that's 3 damage totally. So, this guy is gone. So that means we need to go back to base now. And before we do so, I'm actually going to go ahead and mark this guy up as sunk. So we are going to go ahead and head back to France, but it's not over yet. We can still get attacked by aircraft. So transit, we need to roll 4 or higher. Bay of Biscay, we need to roll 5 or higher. And we roll 9, so that's cool. Okay, guys, we're back in France. Gonna drink some wines and eat some baguettes and enjoy the spoils of victory. Okay, so we have managed in this patrol to sink, let's see, 10,700. So 10,700, that's pretty decent. Only 3 ships, I mean, 3 ships is pretty decent, so 10,700 is not that much. Okay, let's see if I can do some quick mathematics here. 10,000... What did I say? 10,700. So that's going to be 79,300. I'm really hoping I'm not doing bad math here because I'm a nurse, so I should be able to do mathematics correctly to calculate the doses I'm giving to my patients. But I think that should be, let's see, 79,000. Yeah, that should be correct. So 79,300 songs. That's our 6th. It's our 7th patrol, and it's our 6th successful mission. So that means we are gonna go ahead and roll for crew advancement again. We didn't take any damage at all, and we are gonna go ahead and reload our torpedoes. We only sent out 1 electric, 1 steam, and we fired off a total of 6 deck gun shots. So let's see if we are lucky enough to get another crew advancement on our generic crew, and again that's going to be on a roll of 5 to 6. So we roll a d6. Unfortunately not. We rolled a 1, so that means our LI is going to be, that's our engineer is gonna be expert. But actually, if your crew don't get promoted, your generic crew, that is actually my favorite crew member to be promoted, because that can really help you out when you're out on a mission and if you've been really badly hurt by a escort or aircraft. So we put the expert marker. I'm messing things up here. We put the expert marker down here on our engineer, and we're gonna go ahead and head out to battle again for another patrol. And we have done 1 month of refit, so that brings us into night 142. So things are gonna get rougher, my friends. So let's roll some dice. 2d6, and we roll 4. Let's see, on our 4 is gonna be the Atlantic in a wolf pack. So that's pretty cool. Wolf packs are always cool. So that means if we are lucky during convoys, the other submarines might be taking the convoy's attention away from us. Atlantic, and we're gonna go ahead and do a W to remember we have a wolf pack. So we bring out our North Atlantic map with our Type VIIC submarine. And we're gonna go ahead and head through Bay of Biscay. And just a quick note, Bay of Biscay has suddenly got quite a lot more dangerous here, because we can see on the encounter chart that with Bay of Biscay, we need to roll a 5 or higher not to engage any aircraft. However, since we're in night 942 now, we have a -1 to our roll, so that effectively means that we have to roll a 6 or higher instead of a 5 or higher to avoid aircraft. So every time we head through Bay of Biscay, basically it's almost a 50% chance that we're gonna have to engage, or that we are being engaged by aircraft. So the first time around we are good to go. Transit box, however, doesn't change. We're still safe on a roll of 4 or higher. And we're all 6, so we are safe. Okay. I think if you look closer, I was a little bit unsure earlier which way was, you were going and which way you were going back. But there's a blue line here, and I think the blue line means that you're going back, and the red line means that you're going to your target. So that's quite cool for nerds like myself. Okay, so we are in the first travel box now on our Wolfpack tour of the Atlantic. So we're gonna roll 2d6. There's a lot of convoys over here, but however, on a roll of 10 in Atlantic, we don't find anything at all. So we go into the next box and we roll 7. Perhaps something Atlantic. Yes, 7 is gonna be a convoy. So let's see, first of all, if it's night or day. It's night time, so that means I am gonna go ahead and engage. Usually I don't if it's daytime. We're gonna go ahead and take our combat mat here. So it's a convoy, so we do have an escort. Always has escorts, the convoys, and it's night time. And then we're gonna see the status of our wolf pack. On a roll of 1 to 5, the escort is busy. On a roll of 6, it's focused on us. So let's hope for some luck. And with the wolf pack, I'm not sure. It doesn't. I think it has been asked in the forums if you should roll before or after you engage. I'm gonna go ahead and roll for the wolf pack status after I engage. So first, let's identify the ships. We have a small freighter, a large freighter, and then we have 2 more large freighters. So as usual, I'm not going to waste my time identifying the small freighters. I'm going to identify the large freighters and choose the biggest one. So first we have number 14, Bronte 5300. Second one is 11, Yorkshire 10,000. And last one is 6, Louisiana. Okay, so it's going to be Yorkshire 10,000. So we go ahead and take our patrol log sheet. Yorkshire 10,000. And now I am gonna go ahead and attack him. I am gonna attack him at medium range, and I'm gonna do so with, as usual, 4 steamed torpedoes from my forward torpedo tubes. And let's see, actually it's 942. So I might want to change to long range, even though it does make it a lot harder for me to... Actually, since we have the wolf pack, I'm gonna attack at medium range. However, we are gonna roll now for the wolf pack status, so let's hope I don't roll a 6, otherwise I'm gonna be screwed. Oh no! Okay. The wolf pack escort is focused. That is horrible. That means I am gonna get +1 on my detection rolls. Ooh. Okay, let's see. First, the large freighter is a 10,000 ton heavy freighter. Let's roll for my my torpedoes. The first one is a hit. Remember, I need a 7 or lower to hit. Second one is a miss. Ooh, third one is a hit. I'm so nervous now. And the third one is a hit too. You know, when this stuff happens, I just want it to pass. Okay, so we have 3 hits. Let's see if we have any duds. There are duds on a roll of 1. No duds here, so let's roll for damage. Hopefully I take him out. Okay, I do take him out. Just the 1 there is 4 damage. So I'm doing quite massive damage. You can see here on the damage chart, the 1 is going to be 4 damage, the 2 is going to be 3, that's 7 damage, and the 6 is going to be 1, so that's total 8 damage. So this guy, probably I hit some kind of ammunition stock or something, because he is out. It should be 1 more 0 there. Okay, so let's see if we actually survive now, because this is troubling, very troubling. We have a wolf pack which is focusing on us. Luckily we did not engage during daytime, so that's cool. I am gonna go ahead and exceed test depth, of course, taking 1 whole damage, and I don't have the roll the first time doing so, the first time of the patrol, since I can't get the equal amount in a roll. Okay, so we're gonna roll for escort detection, and before we do so, let's consult our chart here to see what we have to roll. So on an 8 or less, we would be detected, and that's going to be a 9 or less with our exceeding test depth. However, the 9 or less is gonna become 7 or less, because we're in 942. And then we have Wolfpack attack on convoy, and it's gonna turn into a 6 or less. So we're in real trouble now, because if we're hit, we're gonna have the previously detected one, and well, it's gonna be troublesome. Okay, so what I say, I think we need 6 or less to hit, right? 9 or less with exceeding test depth, 7 with the 942, 6 with the wolf pack. Okay, so we need 6 or less now, otherwise we're gonna be in real trouble. Oh, yeah, we're all 4. Oh man, that makes me happy. I don't know why I'm being this lucky in this game, but I promise you guys it's not gonna last, because it never does. Okay, so we successfully escaped from this escort, and I think actually I'm gonna follow the convoy. So I followed the convoy on successfully on a roll of 1 to 4. And we roll a 6, so unfortunately I lost the convoy. Would have been cool to take out some more huge ships, but you know, you shouldn't become greedy or you're gonna die. Okay, so we have successfully, sunk 10,000 more tonnage, and we're gonna go ahead and continue our epic patrol of the Atlantic. Heading to the next travel box. And roll a 12, so a 12, that's gonna be our first random event. I love these random events. Oh, let's hope for an 8 Luftwaffe recon. That's really good. And 7 is also really good. So 7 or 8, please. We get a 6. 6 spare parts from sister ship. Let's see if I can focus with the camera. Your boat receives spare parts from a passing sister ship. Immediately repair up to 2 inoperable systems on your U-boat display map. If no systems are currently inoperable, ignore this event. So unfortunately it doesn't do anything, but at least it doesn't do anything bad. So we go to the last travel box and we roll a 7. And in the Atlantic, a 7 is going to be another convoy. So that's cool. We're going to go ahead and see if it's night or day. It's daytime, so we're going to try to change to nighttime on a roll of 1 to 4. And we roll a 3, so we are good to go. We managed to roll a 3. Okay, so convoy always has escorts. It's nighttime, and we're definitely going to attack submerged. And I'm going to go ahead and roll to see my targets. 2 large freighters, 4 large freighters, so we have a really good chance now of finding something big. So we go to our large freighter target roster. 33, man, that was close. 33, 34 would have been the Empress of Britain. 33, Hurunui, 9,300. 46, let's see, 46 is Beacon Grange, 10,100, that's not too bad. Oh, actually 49, sorry, I read that wrong. 49 is Gregalia, 5,900, that's not very good. So that way 33 would have been better. 5, that's Kennebec, still not as good as number 33. And last one is 85. City of Birmingham, which is 5,900. So I am gonna go with my first roll, which is roll number 33, Hurunui, 9,300 ton. So we're gonna go ahead and take our patrol log sheet and see if my camera can focus. I have to manually press the screen to make him focus, or to make it focus. Let's see, Hurunui was number 33, 9,300 tonnage. I gotta say thank you, Michaele, for sending me these awesome maps, because they are giving me incredible luck during my submarine patrols. Let's see if I'm as lucky now when we're gonna see if the wolf pack is on our side or not. Let's see, I am gonna engage this ship at medium range, and you know the deal. As usual, I am gonna send 4 steam torpedoes. That's usually the recipe for success against this, let's see, large freighter with 3 hit points. But before I'm doing so, I'm gonna see if the escort is focusing on me or my friends. So on a roll of 1 to 5, it's focusing on them. Okay, so this time I am luckier. The escort is busy. So we're gonna go ahead and roll some d6 to see if my torpedoes hit. I hit on a roll of 7 or lower. Okay, that is kind of cheating. I'm gonna re-roll that. Okay, the first one is a hit. The reason why I told it was cheating, because I dropped it on this side instead of back here. Second one is also a hit. Third one is a hit. And fourth one is a hit. I'm telling you guys, there's something when you're using these maps, they're giving you superpowers. Okay, we have 1 dud. And so we have 3 successful hits. And of course this guy is going to go down. He only has 3 hit points. I can do a minimum of 1 damage. And I actually do 2, 3, 4 damage. 1 each from these and 2 damage from the 3. So 4 damage totally. This guy has been taken out. So we are going to go ahead and go to our combat patrol sheet. Circle his tonnage. We've sunk 2 ships now. One on 10,000, one on 9,300. That's not too bad. Okay, as always, guys, I am gonna go ahead and exceed test depth. However, now we are at 2 hull damage, so that means I have to roll. If I roll the same, if I roll 2 now, I have to re-roll. Take 1 damage again, and I roll 9, so I am safe. Okay, so we are gonna go ahead and consult our escort detection chart again. So remember, 8 or less, you're undetected, but because it's 942, that's going to be a 6 or less. However, we have exceeded test depth, and we have also, let's see, where is it? Wolfpack attack on convoy. So it's going to be another -1. So we need an 8 or less to be able to escape from this escort. And roll 7. So again, we're safe. Man, I don't know what happened to the escorts in these games. And I am actually gonna roll now to see if I can follow the convoy, and I successfully follow the convoy on a roll of 1 to 4. And a roll 5. So unfortunately, I'm not able to follow the convoy. However, that's fine with me. We go back to our travel map, and that's we see we have engaged the last patrol box. So we're now entering transit. We need to roll. That would have been random event, but we've already. This has never happened to me. We've already had a random event, so it's not going to happen because it can only happen once every patrol, and that means in the transit box we get a ship. We get an unescorted ship, guys. That's incredible. Okay, let's roll to see what kind of ship we get. And we get a small freighter. And I'm not gonna say that it's too small. Anyway, you know, I'm happy just to get a free ship to sink. Okay, 75. Small freighter, 75. That's Manuela, 5,000 ton. So I'm not gonna celebrate too early. Maybe we don't sink him, but I have a good or her. But I have a good feeling here. Let's see, Manuela. One thing to note is that all the ships on the rosters, on the target rosters, are actual ships that was sunk during World War II. So all of them were actually sunk that you find on the target list. And I think I just want to say that I do like this game very much. It's an interesting game and it's a good way to remember history, but you can never forget the suffering of war. And these guys, you know, died, so many of them, out on the ocean. That has to be a horrible experience. And, you know, I'm a guy from Scandinavia, and I know that Europe would not have been good if the Germans had won. So I am very grateful for these guys sacrificing their lives for me, even though I seem happy to sink these ships during this game. But that is because this is a game. Okay, so we have a small freighter. And this we have some dog hair here too. I don't think there's any points for that. Okay, so we have a small freighter. There's no escort. Doesn't matter time of day. We are going to do a surface attack at close range. And the first thing we're going to do is send out 2 deck gun shots. Let's see. And we hit on an 8 or less. First one is a hit. And second one is a miss. So let's see if the first one is a good hit or not. And it's a 2, unfortunately. So 2 is just 1 damage. So we're gonna go ahead and send our aft torpedo from our aft torpedo tube. And we need a 9 or lower to hit. And we're all 11, so unfortunately that's a miss. But you know, guys, this is the last travel box. The transit box, so we're not gonna engage any more ships. So I'm sending all of my torpedoes, and my torpedoes now are 2 electrical and 2 steam torpedoes. And again, I'm at close range, so it should be 8 or less to hit, but since he's unescorted, it's gonna be 9 or less to hit. First one is a hit. Second one is a hit. Oops, sorry guys. Third one is a hit. And the fourth one is a hit. And we have 2 duds, Those are definitely the electrical ones. I hate them. And let's see with the other two. Close call. They're not duds. And the damage they do is, let's see, number 2, let's see our U-boat attack damage chart. 2 is going to be 3 damage and 6 is going to be 1. So I do a total of 4 damage to this poor small freighter. So, needless to say, he has successfully been sunk, but I've also wasted all of my ammunition. So let's go back here to our combat patrol log sheet and mark that ship up. So we are going back now to our patrol map, and we're leaving the transit box and entering the horrible Bay of Biscay. And remember, we are in 942, so that means that we actually need to roll 6 or higher to not have to deal with aircraft. And we roll a 5, unfortunately, so that means we have an aircraft encounter. And we can see here that this is going to be also more deadly because it's 942. Because 6 or more, we have a successful crash dive and there's not going to be any air attack. But because of 942, we have a -1. So we need to roll 7 or higher to avoid that air attack. We rolled a 7. Okay, so the luck streak keeps going, guys. I avoid him and I enter France. It always feels so good when you return home to your French girlfriend and your wines. Okay, man, this is a lot of tonnage. We have successfully sunk 3 ships. One on 10,000, one on 9,300, and one on 5,000. So that's going to be 14,300 tonnage. Oh, let's see. I did that in the wrong box. Let's see. What did I say? 14,300. I don't like to do math. So that's going to be 93,600 tonnage, if I'm correct. And let's see how much. Yeah, we have to do some extra refit. We see our submarine here. We have taken some hull damage. So that means we are going to have to do 2 months of refit here. I don't mind the refit though, because it's quite dangerous in 42 and we're actually nearing the end of the war already. So I'm good with that. We have spent quite a lot of ammunition here, as you can see. So we are going to go ahead and restock on ammunition. 2 electrical ones there and all of the steams. Okay, so we are ready to head out again. We have our hull repaired and our crew are rested and well. We bring out our patrol log sheet again. And we're gonna roll. Maybe we go to the British Isles again. Let's see. We roll 2d6. And we roll a 3. Let's see. We are in, let's see, in May 942. So our 3 is gonna be North America. And actually, it's going to be a special mission here, which is bad for us because that's going to give us a negative die roll modifier with the damn airplane. And basically, we're going to have to deliver an agent to North America. Okay, so we're heading to... But actually, I think North America, the Type 7 doesn't go there. Let's see, North America, A... No, actually, we do go there. I had a... There's some places that Type 7s don't go. They don't go to the Caribbean and they don't go to West African coast. So we do go to North America. I can't avoid my duty, unfortunately. Okay, so North America. And we have an agent to deliver. So we need to load our agent here onto our submarine. And we have a special counter for that. And I don't know if this is some kind of stock image. Let's see, focus. But this guy really looks like a German agent during World War II. So I'm really nasty type. Maybe this is like a friend of the designer. I'm sorry if you who are the portrait of this is watching this, but you're making some kind of face. Okay, so we have our agent or our Abwehr loaded onto our submarine, and we are gonna do our best to lead him to North America. So we have our North American map and our Type VIIc submarine marker. So there's a lot of transit boxes here, guys. Let's see how we do. So first of all, we have to pass by the horrible Bay of Biscay as usual. You know the deal now, guys. We need to roll a 6 or higher to avoid any aircraft. And roll a 9, so we're actually good to go. So now it's time for a bunch of transit boxes, and we only need to roll 4 to avoid anything happening to us there. So we're doing good. We've passed all of the transit boxes, and now we have arrived to our first box, which is going to be our special mission. And this one is gonna be a little bit dicey, because here we have our chart for our special mission on our encounter chart. And we can see here or actually it's gonna be Bay of Biscay, sorry. It says what? Special mission. So it's gonna be just like Bay of Biscay. Normally 5 would be good, but we need to roll 6 because of the 942 negative die roll modifier. So let's see if we manage to deliver him. Yes, we roll a 10. So our agent is dropped off into North America. He's gonna make some trouble for the Americans. And we head out to our first travel box. Let's hope we find something nice to send some torpedoes to. So we roll an 8. Let's see, North America. 8 is gonna be 2 ships. 2 ships! And these 2 ships, guess what? They are unescorted. Oh. Okay, so unfortunately they are small freighters. That's, I'm not gonna complain, guys, but yeah, they are what they are. Okay, let's see, small freighters. And now we go to a special roster. We go to North America target roster, and we will roll a D20, so we have one of those to identify the targets. We have small freighters here. So the first one is number 10, that's Sytera that's Christina Knudsen. Sounds Danish or Norwegian. 4,900, that's not too bad. And the second one is number 4, France Solman, 2,600. So 2 pretty decent, I have to say, small freighters in North America. So we are gonna go ahead and note that. I'll pause the video, one moment. Yeah, look how beautiful and fast I write. Okay, so we are gonna go ahead and bring out our combat mat. And yeah, of course we're gonna do a surfaced attack while at close ranged. And we have 2 targets this time, 2 small freighters. So let's see what we're gonna do with these guys. I am gonna go ahead and so the first one is gonna be the Christina Knudsen, 4,900 ton. The second one is gonna be the Francis, 2,600 ton. So I'm gonna engage the first one first with some deck gun shots. So let's hope I take this guy out. 8 or less to hit. So the first one is hit. Ah, darn it. I only get 1 hit. Let's see damage. Ah, okay, just 1 damage. So I'm gonna have to send a steam torpedo his way, or her way. Also at close range, 9 or lower to hit. And that is a hit. Let's hope it's not a dud. It's not a dud. So that means 2, that's actually 3 damage. So Christina Knudsen, 4,900 tonnage, has been successfully sunk. And we still have our torpedoes in our forward torpedo tubes to fire before we have to do any escort detection check. Or, or add 1 round of combat check, which might end up with an escort coming. Okay, so we fired 4 torpedoes at this poor guy. First one is a hit. Second one is a hit. Third one is a hit. And fourth one is also a hit. So we have 4 hits. Let's see if we have any duds. 1 dud. Remember, 1 is a dud in 41 and later. Whoops. And no more duds. So this is going to be a lot of damage. I mean, you can see here, that's 4 damage, 3, that's 7 damage, and that's 1 damage. So 8 damage on this poor small freighter. So both of them has been successfully sunk. So let's go ahead and go back to our patrol log sheet. Mark this guy up. I think that's going to be a nice cross for me now, actually, because I'm going to go... I think I'm going to reach... yep. Probably. Maybe. I'm going to reach 10,000 tonnage. And we still have 1 patrol box left in North America. So let's hope for another roll of 8. That would be beautiful. Not 8. We roll 10. And in North America, 10 is unfortunately nothing. So no more ships, but we still have ways to go. We have a lot of these transit boxes. Number 4. 4 we're safe. 5 we're still safe. And 9. And the last one is again the Bay of Biscay. Let's see. So you know the deal here. We need to roll 6 or higher to avoid this. Okay, we roll 9, so we're good. Whew. Okay, so we have successfully returned to France once more. And that means we have to check this out. Okay, so we did 4,900 plus 2,600 plus we did deliver an agent. So that's gonna be 7,500. Ooh, look at that, guys. 7,500. Sorry, I'm shouting sometimes. 7,500. We've done 93,600. So that's actually gonna be just what I need. We're up to 100,000. What is that? Is that correct? Yeah, that is correct. 1,100 tonnage of sunk ships. So that means we have, when you go over 100,000 tonnage, that's going to be at least a minor victory. And we have also earned a Knight's Cross here. So that's very beautiful. Let's see, there's not time for any promotion attempts yet. Let's check our combat mat, our U-boat mat. I'm gonna reload those tubes and reload our ammunition. I think the North America, when you're in North America, you should add like a month or something to your patrol length, because it has to be a longer patrol than if you're going to the British Isles. But according to the rules, you don't, so I'm not gonna bother with that. However, I am gonna go ahead and bother with adding my beautiful Knight's Cross here. And I don't think it's a very good, you don't get a good bonus from it, because all you get is a +1, or you don't get the negative die roll modifier when you're sending a second salvo of torpedoes from your aft tubes if you're doing a night surface attack and doing a second salvo from the aft tubes, which I never do. So unfortunately, I don't get very much good points from that, but it's alright. At least it's pretty to look at. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go back to our patrol log sheet and mark up a P. So we're now in July 42. And we're gonna roll some D6. First of all, I'm actually gonna roll 1 dice to see if I can choose where to go. And I get to choose where to go on a roll of 1 to 2. Oh yeah, I get to choose where to go. And guys, we are in, let's see, July 1942. And I am going to go ahead and choose to go to the Arctic. Because very hopefully I get to stay in the Arctic. And that means I won't have to go through Bay of Biscay no more. Because Bay of Biscay is horrible. But when you go to the Arctic, you're never sure if you're actually gonna get to stay. So we'll see. And what we'll actually do is roll again. And on a roll of 1 to 3, we're gonna get a permanent assignment to the Arctic. On a roll to 4 to 6, it's gonna be just one time thing. So let's hope for a roll of 1 to 3. Yes! Permanent basing. Permanent. Another thing you need to know about the Arctic is that I think it's kind of cool. It's kind of hard to remember sometimes, but in the Arctic you also have another way to tell the weather. And basically, also hidden in the rules on page number 9, we have the Arctic weather chart. So basically, it's different numbers. It's always day in June and always night in December. And now we're in July. So it's going to be day on a roll of 1 to 4. And it's going to be night on a roll of 5 to 6. So that's bad for us since we want to do our fighting during the night. But I'm still happy to be permanently assigned to Arctic. So we're going to go ahead and grab our Arctic map. And we grab our marker and we are in France. Unfortunately, we still have to go through Bay of Biscay one last time. And you remember we have to roll 6 or higher to avoid any aircraft. And we roll 8, so we're good. We do, however, have one transit box here. And we need to roll 4 or higher, so we're also good there. And first travel box of the Arctis. And we roll a 6, and I believe that's going to be a convoy. So for the Arctic, 6 to 8 is a convoy, so it's easy to remember. 3 is going to be a ship, 2 is going to be a capital ship. So we have a convoy. So let's roll for our weather, because you know, guys, I only want to fight during the night. However, as I told you on page 9, we have specific weather rules for the Arctic. We're in July now, so it's going to be day on a roll to 1 to 4 instead of 1 to 3. So we roll a 1, so unfortunately that's going to be day. However, we are going to try to change the weather. And luckily for us, the rule stays the same. We change the weather successfully on a roll of 1 to 4. But we don't succeed because we roll a 6. So that convoy slips away and we have to go to the next travel box. And we roll 2d6 again. And we roll 11, and 11 is not going to be anything in the Arctic. Remember, we don't even have to check these anymore, guys, because 12 is always a random event and then it's an aircraft. See if I can focus here for you. Convoy is 6 to 8, 3 is a ship, 2 is a capital ship. So we go to the next travel box and we roll a 9. Let's see if I remember correctly. Arctic, yeah, that's nothing. So we have our last travel box here. Let's hope we find something so we don't get a failed mission. And we roll a 5, and unfortunately a 5 in the Arctic is also nothing. So this is a failed mission. We go back to our transit box. And we roll an 8, so we're good. And then we head into our next transit box. And see, guys, it's not Bay of Biscay. But, oh my, we still get an aircraft. Are you kidding me, man? That's kind of ironic. Okay, so we have our aircraft encounter chart. We're in 42 now, 942, so it's going to be a -1 to our roll. So we need to roll 7 or more to successfully crash dive. And we rolled 5, so that's not going to be a successful crash dive. That means we are going to take damage from this airplane. However, before we do so, we are going to try to shoot back. On a 4 to 5, we damage the aircraft. On a 3 or less, we shoot him down. And we have a positive modifier here. Veteran or elite crew status, they are veterans, so it's a -1. So we only need to roll 6 instead of 4 to 5 to shoot him or hit him. Let's hope we roll at least a 6. It's not looking good. 7. Oh man, so we miss him. Unfortunately. So we are gonna have to roll for damage. And we do so by consulting our escort air attack chart. Don't forget that an air attack is going to be a very bad modifier, +2. So whatever we roll, we have to take 2 to it. So basically, if we roll 11 now, that means we have been sunk. 8, so we roll an 8. The 8 is going to turn into a 10. So 9 to 10, that's going to be 3 hits. Okay, we can do these, guys. So we're going to take a black and a white one. The black one is going to be the 10s to see our U-boat damage chart. So first out of 3 hits is 32. That's going to be minor damage. That's nothing, does nothing. Second out of 3 is going to be 44. And that's going to be flooding. I can live with that. I can live with some flooding. And the last damage to our system is going to be 56. 56 is our deck gun. And we're on the last transit box of the game. So the deck gun is definitely non-essential. So I'm just going to show you my submarine here, and the deck gun is over here, Deckerschutz, and we put a damage marker on that. And like I said, we have also flooding. So with the flooding, you always roll 1d6. On a result of 5 to 6, you get 1 additional flooding. We roll a 1, so we're good. We don't get more flooding. However, we did not manage, or we're not sure if, let's put that in the background. We're not sure if we escaped the air attack, because we have to roll on add 1 round of combat now, unfortunately. So basically, let's see here. We have a -1 here because it's 942. So we need to roll a 6 or higher to avoid, or actually, we need to roll a 7 or higher, I believe. Yeah, a 7 or higher to not have any trouble. So it's looking kind of dicey right now. Let's hope for a good roll. Let's hope for our luck to continue. And we roll an 11. Thank you, dice gods. And that means we have successfully escaped. Let's bring our map back. And that means we successfully return back to Norway. So we bring out our patrol log sheet. Unfortunately, we failed. We still have 100,100 tonnage sunk, but we failed for the second time during the war. And the next, now we don't need to roll for the next assignments because we're gonna stay in the Arctic. So in September 1942, we're still patrolling the Arctic. And our, just as a note, our submarine did take no hull damage, took damage to the system there, but it repairs that without any penalty to the months, and flooding is reset. I don't know, I think you can have 2 inoperable systems without suffering any refit penalty. So we didn't waste any ammo because we didn't find any ships during our last Arctic patrol. So we're gonna head out again. And again, we're gonna be lucky because again, we don't have to deal with Bay of Biscay. Feels very good. So, transit box. We need to roll 4 or higher. Second transit box. And we're still good. So, first patrol box. And we roll a 4, and if you remember correctly from the Arctic, we need to roll a 3 for a unescorted ship. 6, 7, 8 is going to be a convoy. So I think we actually might have some failed patrols here, unfortunately. In the last box, we roll a 9, and again, that's going to be nothing. And 12, we have a random event. So random event, guys. Let's hope for, I like the Luftwaffe recon because basically it's giving you an unescorted ship. Oh, look at that, guys. I rolled 8. Luftwaffe recon. Let's see if I can focus here for you guys. A long-range reconnaissance aircraft identifies a single target ship for you, no escort. Immediately roll to determine size of ID to resolve the event. Ignore this event for the Caribbean, North America, or West African coast. But we're in Norway, so we're good to go. Let's see what kind of ship we find. And we find a large freighter. I'm happy about that. And we find large freighter number 3. And let's consult the chart. Number 3, that's going to be Manar. 7,200 tonnage. So let's grab our patrol log sheet. 7,200 ton. That's not too bad considering it's a free ship basically. Okay, so we bring out our combat mat and our dice tower, and we're gonna send some ammunition this guy's way. We're gonna go ahead. Let's see, it was a large freighter, so it's gonna have 3 hit points. We're gonna start by firing our deck gun, firing 2 shots, and we need 8 or lower to hit. So the first one is a miss. Second one is a hit. Let's see the damage we do. We roll a 1, so that's actually our first 2 damage with the deck gun. Very nice. So we fire our aft torpedo tube, which has a steam torpedo, and it's a hit. Yeah, of course we are firing at close range while surfaced. Let's see if it's a dud. It's not, and it actually is 2 damage. So this guy has been sunk. So that's our first successful combat in the Arctic. So we take our patrol log sheet, and look at this, guys. The war is soon over. Can we survive another full career? That would be cool. I am gonna go ahead and reload my aft torpedo tubes with my electrical, which I have in the reserve, and then I'm gonna go ahead. I think I was in, man, this guy had moved. I think I was in the 3rd one. So we're heading to the last one. And we roll an 8, so that's actually, I think that's going to be a convoy. Let's roll for time of day, and we're in, let's see, we're in September now, so we have to consult our rules. I don't know this one in the head. September 1 to 4 is going to be daytime. So it's night time. Let's see what kind of targets we can find. So we have an escort since it's a convoy. It's night time. And let's see our 4 targets, ships. 1 large freighter, 1 small freighter, and 2 small freighters. So let's identify that 1 large freighter and see if it's worth it. We have 50. Our freighter number 50. Oh, is Rodney Star 11,800. I think I'm gonna go for that. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and note Rodney Star 11,800. That's not too bad. So let's see if we can take this guy out without getting sunk by that escort, because we are in 42 now after all. I am gonna go ahead and fire at long range. I'm gonna do so while submerged, and this shouldn't be here. And I'm gonna go ahead and fire 4 steamed torpedoes at this large freighter, which has 4 hit points. So I need 7. Let's see. No, actually I need, let's consult our chart. I need 6 or less to hit, since I'm now firing at long range. So the first one is a hit. Second one is a miss. Third one is also a miss. Oh, come on. And the 4th is also a miss. So the first one, let's see if it's a dud or not. Nope, it's not a dud. I rolled a 2. Let's see the damage. Unfortunately, only 1 damage. And so we go to our escort detection. Of course, I am going to go ahead and take 1 whole damage. because things are not very good in 1942. So let's go to our escort detection chart. Escort detection, 8 or less were undetected. However, we are in 1942 now, so that's going to be +2, so we need 6 or less. However, we are firing at long range and we have exceeded test depth, so it's still going to be 8 or less. And we're all free, so we are clear of the escort. So we do an automatic following of this ship because it's been damaged, and we're going to roll to see if it remains escorted. It's going to remain escorted on a roll of 1 to 4 and unescorted on a roll of 5 to 6. And we're all at 2, unfortunately, so it's still escorted. And that also means that we're going to have to roll to see the weather again since it's escorted. And remember, we're in September 1942, so that means 1 to 4 is going to be day. Unfortunately, it's day, but we are going to try to change the weather. On a roll of 1 to 4, we are successful in changing to night time. And we're all of 3, so we are successful in changing the weather. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and send 4 more steam torpedo tubes. Torpedoes from our forward tubes. And we only have 2 remaining in our reserve steamed, and we have 2 electrical ones. We're gonna keep firing from long range, and this is gonna be it. If I don't take him out now, I'm gonna have to abort, I think. Anyway, let's do it. We're still at night time. Submerge while firing at long range. We need 6 or lower for our torpedoes to hit. First one is a miss. Second one is a hit. Third one is a miss. Come on, last one. Last one is a hit, so I have 2 hits. Let's see if we have any duds. Oh, lucky. No duds at all. So both of them are hits. Let's check for damage. Ooh, 3. Okay, so 3, if we look at the damage chart, 3 is going to be 2 damage, so that's going to be a total of 4 damage. So we have successfully taken down this large freighter. We quickly go to our patrol log sheet and mark Rodney Star as successfully sunk. But we still have to deal with the escort. So we go ahead and take 1 more hull damage. We're going to go ahead and exceed test depth and roll for that test depth. We roll 3, so it's a close call. If we would have rolled 2, we would have taken 1 more damage and re-roll. And if you roll less than your amount of hull damage, you are sunk. Okay, so you know the deal, guys. 8 or less to become undetected, +2 because it's 1942, but we have exceeded test depth and fired at long range, so we go back to 8. So 8 or less to be undetected. Oh, 12, man. That is horrible. Okay, so the 12 is gonna turn into a 12 because we have +1 -2 +2. And if we look here at the escort air attack chart, we can find that die roll modifiers rolled 12 plus on detection, so we're gonna have unfortunately +1 there on the escort air attack chart. So let's see what damage this bad boy does. It's going to be 4 + 1 because of the 12 on detection, so that's going to turn into a 9. So 9 to 10 is going to be 3 hits. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and bring our submarine back here so we can deal the hits. We're going to deal 3 hits to this poor guy. See, I'm running out of space here on my table. There we go. So 3 hits. And the first hit is 52. 52 is hull damage. That's not good. 2 more hits to deal. 55, and that is additional hull damage. I am up to 4 hull damage now. The third hit is 34. And 34 is crew injury. So we're gonna go ahead and roll for crew injury. by rolling 2d6 to see who gets injured. Number 9, and that's generic crew, so not too bad. Roll to see what kind of injury. It's a 1, and a 1 is a light wound. So we just take a light wound marker. Oh, sorry, that's a KIA marker, and we put it in the light or generic crew box. Okay, so we have managed to survive, but we are up to 4 hull damage now, and that means that I don't want to risk it by exceeding test depth anymore. So I'm just gonna let this guy stay here. So I don't want to exceed test depth anymore because I'm afraid to roll a 3, and that means I'm gonna get sunk. But maybe I should. Oh, I don't know, guys. It feels very risky to do so. I don't want to. I'm so close to surviving this war, so I don't want to risk it. But on the other hand, if I don't, there's a big chance. Okay, I'm not going to risk it. I think I can still survive this. So let's see. We have our chart here. 8 or less to be undetected. Unfortunately, +2 because it's 942. So then we need 6 or less to be undetected. Then we have previously detected, so we need 5 or less to be undetected. However, we have long range. We fire from long range, so that means 7 or less to be undetected. Let's calculate that again. 8 or less, but because it's 42, we need 6 or less. And because it's previously detected, we need 5 or less. But because we have fired at long range, it's going to be 6 or less. Okay, so we need 6 or less to escape. Okay, guys, let's hope for the best. Yes! Oh man, I roll a 3. I'm very happy that I did not exceed test depth, because that would have effectively killed me. Okay, so the escort is gone. We slip out of detection. We've taken all the hits, and that means that we go back to our combat patrol map, and we are heading now back to Norway, safe and sound. And we roll for a random event, and I believe we already had a random event this turn, didn't we? I believe so. And let's see, in the Arctic, because random events can only happen once, random event is going to be an aircraft, unfortunately. Yeah, and I think, yeah, because I got the Luftwaffe one, so unfortunately it's going to be an aircraft. Oh man, that's unlucky. Okay, so we go to our aircraft encounter chart, and we're in 42, so we need to roll 7 or higher to successfully crash dive. Come on. Ah, 4. Okay, so this guy successfully, we don't successfully escape. Let's do our flak attack before we take our damage. And we roll a 6. The 6 is going to turn into a 5 because we have a veteran crew, and the 5 is damaged. So we managed to damage the aircraft, and that means that after his initial attack, we don't have to do the add 1 round of combat part, which is very nice. Okay, so let's see his damage. Let's hope he doesn't do 4 damage. That's cool. We can deal with that. We go to our escort air attack chart. So he rolled a 4, and that is going to be +2 because it's an air attack. So that's 4 is going to turn into a 6. Still just going to be 1 measly hit. And that hit is going to be number 32, and number 32 is going to be minor damage, and again, minor damage means nothing happens, so that whole thing was just needless. Okay, so we survived the air attack. We're going to go ahead and head to the transit box, the last one. We have another air attack. Come on, guys. Okay, so we have another air attack. You guys remember we need 7 or higher, because it's 42 to escape. And we roll an 11, so we are good to go. We escaped that air attack, and we return to Norway safe and sound, or maybe not safe and sound, but we have at least not taken too much damage. The light wound here on my generic crew goes away automatically. The 4 in hull damage is going to add 2 months to my refit period, but because I'm rank 3, the 3 months of refit is going to turn into 2 months of refit. So I'm just going to have to do 2 months of refit. And then we are going to add some torpedoes here to our tubes. And remember, you can only have steam torpedoes as you head out. You cannot have those electrical ones as you head out. You can only have them in your reserve. So we're going to load up on some more steam torpedoes. And there we go. We're going to take a look at our patrol log sheet here. And we're going to add the 2 months of refit. And let's see. Yeah, we have, like I said, we would have had 3 months, but because we have the rank 3, it's only going to be 2 months. Okay, so we need to add now. We actually did pretty good here. We did 18,000, 19,000 totally tonnage sunk. So that's not too bad. Let's see, 11,800 plus 7,200. It's going to be 18,000, 19,000. Okay, let's see where we're at. So that's going to be 10,000, let's see, 100,000, 19,000, 100 tonnage. That's actually pretty good, guys. And it's also our, let's see, 9th successful mission, and that means we're gonna get to roll for crew promotion. Very nice. Let's hope for a roll of 5 to 6 to get our generic crew to become elite. We roll a 3, so that's annoying. And the 3 is actually very annoying. I hate that one because that means our first watch officer is going to become expert. And that means no penalty if he takes command of the boat. But that also means you have to roll after every successful patrol to see if he gets command of his own ship. So it's just, for me, it's just annoying. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put on Arctic here. Because remember, we're in December 42 now, so this is the last patrol of 1942. And before we head out, I am going to go ahead and put my first watch officer marker over here. And again, I don't see him. He's never been useful to me. He's been annoyance. So we have now our engineer promoted, our generic crew promoted, and our first watch officer, and our commandant is rank 3 with let's see, Knight's Cross. And actually, before we head out, guys, because if we look at our patrol map, October 42, that signals 2 years of active service. So that's actually going to be another try to become promoted for this guy. And let's see how many failed patrols we had for the last months. 1, see, 1, 2. And I think actually the one there on October 41 doesn't count. So we have 1. So that means we have 1 negative modifier. However, we have a positive 1 here because we have the -1 per award of Knight's Cross during the 12-month period. And we did get the Knight's Cross. We have the +1 for each unsuccessful patrol. So basically, we need to roll 1 to 4 to be able to be promoted. And we roll a 6. So unfortunately, command decides that we're not fit for promotion. We have to keep hunting. And we're in December 1942. So this means this is going to be our last patrol in 1942. And this also means that it's going to be night during every patrol since we are in the Arctic. And it's always night in December. So we go to our transit. Notice that it's not Bay of Biscay. And we don't get any aircraft. Second transit. And again, we have a random event again. That's cool. Let's hope that we get a better one than spare parts. Then we get 9, and 9 is going to be weather reporting duty. Man, that's boring. Your boat has been assigned to weather reporting duties. The current and next travel box are spent traveling to the reporting station and sending reports. No encounters can occur for both travel boxes. Man, so that basically means that in the next travel box there can't be any combat. But I wish that would also mean that I would get a successful mission, like if I complete it. The current and next travel box has been traveling to reporting stations, sending reports. No encounter can occur for both travel boxes. Okay, so no encounter. So it's gonna be for this box, and then we head into that box. And we roll for that box. And we roll 10, and if you remember, in the Arctic, unfortunately, 10 is nothing. I really want to get a roll of 3. That would make me so happy. Nope, 8, and 8 is gonna be a convoy, and the question is, do I really want to do this? But it's gonna be nighttime, so that's good. Let's identify the targets first. We have 2 large freighters and 2 small freighters. Let's check out those large freighters. The first one is number 84. 84 is gonna be Rafael Semes, 6,000 ton. That's not too bad. The second one is number 72, and that's Jager's Fontaine, 10,000. Well, I think it would be kind of like I would be a traitor to the Kriegsmarine if I didn't engage this ship. So I am gonna go and do it against my own will. Because I have a very bad feeling of this. It is the last patrol in 42, and usually in 43 I'm just sailing. I'm not engaging anything. It's too dangerous. So, Jager's Fontaine, 10,000. I have a really bad feeling about this guy. Man, I've been so lucky this whole career. And now in the last month of 42, which is the last month I do combat against escorted ships, I encounter a escorted ship. So we'll see. I'm very. You can kind of feel how reluctant I am. I'm moving everything so slow. Okay, so we have an escort. It's night time. We're gonna fight submerged, and we're gonna do so at long range, of course. We have a large freighter which has 4 hit points, so this is not going to be easy. And of course I'm going to send out 4 steam torpedoes, and hitting is going to be difficult. You know, I need 6 or less to be able to hit on long range. So first one is a miss. Second one is a miss. I told you guys this was a mistake. Okay, we have 1 hit. And 1 more miss. Let's see if the 1 hit is a dud. It's a dud! I told you guys this was a mistake. It's a dud. We don't hit him. Nothing happens. We have escort detection. Man, I'm so nervous. I am gonna take hull damage by exceeding test depth. And we go to our escort detection chart. 8 or less were undetected, but it's 1942, so that's going to be +2. But we have long range and exceeding test depth, so again, we need to roll 8 or less. Okay, I managed to escape. Oh man, my mouth is getting dry. Okay, I want to try to follow this ship because I have to do my duty as a commandant captain. So I will try to follow. On a roll of 1 to 4, I successfully follow him. Oh, 6. I didn't manage to follow him, and I'm so happy because of that. I lost him. I tried to engage him, guys, but he slipped away. I think my honor is still intact. I didn't escape combat, even though there was a nasty escort. And that means we are going now to the last combat box, the last travel box of 1942. Let's hope for number 3. Come on, give me number 3. I didn't get number 3. I got number 11. That's better than a random event because that would have given me aircraft. And number 11 in the Arctic is nothing. So that means we go back to transit. I need to roll 4 or higher. We're good. 4 or higher in the last one. Oh man, it's a random event, and that's going to be another aircraft. Man, I can't get enough of these aircraft. So that's an aircraft because we already did a random event. And you remember the aircraft encounters. Luckily, we are still in 42. Otherwise, we would have an even worse modifier. So instead of 6 or more, we need 7 or more to be able to escape. We're all 8. Pew. Okay, so we are back in Norway, guys. We're back in Norway, and we are also alive. We take our patrol log sheet here, and it is a failed mission, but at least we're all alive. And we're gonna have to do 1 extra month of refit here because of the damaged ship, because of the hull damage that I sustained while doing exceeding test depth. I'm also going to go ahead and reload my boat here, my forward torpedo tubes. Man, you have no idea. I usually say when people ask me, so what is the best World War II solo game? I usually say like this. Pavlov's House is the best designed solo game I've ever played. And I had so much fun with it, and I still do. I think I will always play it every now and then. But The Hunters is the most fun I ever had. It's not the best designed, but it's the most fun I ever had with a board game, or at least a solo board game. It's so much fun. And because it evokes so many feelings. I mean, we have soon passed the first years of the war, which is included in this game. We have 4 more months, and I just want to survive, but I'm just not sure if I can. We'll see. Okay, guys, so again, it's March 1943, and we're gonna go ahead out for another patrol. And before we head out, we are gonna do something that we should actually have done the moment that we got the Knight's Cross, but it's okay, we can do it now. Basically, if you read the rules at page number 18, at the end of the patrol in which a commandant receives the Knight's Cross, the player may request a newer U-boat model. And I want to get the flak model. Okay, so basically, the flak model, which is the Type VIIC flak U-boat, is of limited availability. So these U-boats may only be chosen by the player rolling 1d6 with a 1 to 2 being rolled. If the attempt fails, the player is given a new boat of the latest standard model. So basically what I need to do is roll 1 to 3 first and then 1 to 2. So it's very hard, but it's not impossible. Let's try. First I need to roll 1 to 3 to get that U-boat upgrade marker. And I roll a 3, so I do get that U-boat upgrade marker. And what I need to do now is I need to roll a 2 to get the Type VIIC flak. 1 to 2. Let's hope for it. Roll a 6. It would have been fun to end the game with the flak U-boat, but the fate didn't want me to do so. Okay, guys, so we're in March 1943. It's the last 4 months of the game, and we're entering the first transit box. We need to roll 4 or higher in these transit boxes to avoid the aircrafts, and we have been able to do so. And we roll a 3! Yeah, we rolled a 3! Oh man, the 3 means that we are not going to have a failed mission, because I don't want to engage any escorted ships, but a 3 in the Arctic is an unescorted ship. And that unescorted ship is a large freighter. Man. And we roll 21. So let's identify that large freighter. Large freighter 21, that's gonna be Royston Grange on 5,100 tonnage. You're always on grand. 5,100 tonnage. That's pretty good anyway for an unescorted target. Okay, so we're gonna put our... I'm getting too excited, guys. Map aside here, and we're gonna go ahead and engage surfaced, weather doesn't matter, at close range. And we're gonna start by firing 2 deck gun shots at this large freighter with 3 hit points. And remember, I need 8 or lower to hit while in close range. So the first one is a hit, and second one is also a hit. Let's see, damage. Yeah, we have a 2 damage and 1 damage. So we take out this large freighter with the help of just our deck gun. So we go to our combat log and we mark him up. And then we're gonna go ahead and continue with our patrol. Let's see, we go to the second travel box. And we roll an 8. And 8 is gonna be in the Arctic, that's gonna be a convoy. But like I said, in 43 I don't want to be engaging any ships with escorts. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pretend I didn't see that convoy. 7 is also a convoy. I didn't see any convoy. And 8 is also a convoy. What are you talking about? No convoy here, man. Transit box, we need to roll 4 or higher. Oh, that was close call, man. Last transit box. 4 again. I'm telling you guys, meeting aircraft in 1943 is not fun. We go to our patrol log here. We have just 1 month of refit because we took no damage. We did sink 1 ship, 5,100 ton. So we are gonna go to, let's see here, 124,200 ton sunk. And it's our 10th successful mission or patrol. So again, we're heading out in the Arctic, and guys, this is gonna be the last patrol because then it's gonna be a month of refit. You can do it right now, and that's gonna be the end of it. So let's see, because I'm not gonna say anything. I don't want to jinx it, but let's see what happens. First travel box. Oh, before I did spend 2 ammo shots there, so I'm just gonna put them back. Transit box, and we meet an aircraft. Okay, it's an aircraft, and we are in 1943, so we have a very negative die roll modifier here, -2. So that means we need to get 8 or more to successfully escape this guy. Oh yeah, 11. So the aircraft does not hit us. We successfully crash dive. Next transit box, 4 or higher. Roll 9, we're good to go. First travel box, roll 6. 6 in the Arctic is a convoy. And again, what do you say, convoy? I don't see a convoy. And we roll a 2, and a 2 is actually a capital ship. And if you think I'm gonna engage a capital ship in 1943, 1 month away from surviving, you're crazy. But for fun's sake, I am gonna go ahead and identify that capital ship just for fun. So we roll a d10, and it's gonna be 1. So that's gonna be the, let's see here if I can get the camera's focus, CV Ark Royale, 22,000 ton. But you know, obviously why I'm not engaging is because the capital ships have all these extra escort, and we're in 43, so they're already strong, the escort. So basically I'm gonna have to roll something like 3 or less, I think. Let's check just for fun to see how much I would have or how little I would have to roll to avoid any escort. So say that I would be first of all previously detected, which would probably happen. So 8 or less to be undetected. Then we are in 43, so that's +3. So then it turns into 5 or less. Then we have a capital ship, so that's going to be 4 or less. And then if I'm previously detected, that's going to be 3 or less. So I'm gonna have to roll 3 or less to become undetected. That's basically impossible. Then if it's daytime and I'm firing steam torpedoes at the day, it's gonna be 2 or less. So I think you will understand me why I don't engage that capital ship. And we roll a 7, so that's going to be a convoy, which I'm not going to engage. And we roll another 7, and that's going to be another convoy, which I'm going to stay away from, very far away. Transit box, we need to roll 4 or higher. Last transit box, last box of the game, guys. I need to roll 4 or higher. Don't want to jinx it. Oh, 5. I survived. Oh, man. Look at this beautiful little Type VIIc. He returns to Norway. Where he gets to rest until I buy the next game, which is the Hunted. So we have our ship here, and the end result of our ship. We are rank 3. We have a Knight's Cross. Our crew have become veteran. Our engineer has become expert, and our first watch officer is also expert. Our ship is still alive, afloat. We haven't been sunk. And we have our combat log here. This mission was obviously a failure. I don't mind though, because we have successfully sunk 124,200 tonnage of enemy shipping. And if we consult our rules about what victory level we get with that, on page number 6, we can see that that is a marginal victory. So that's decent. You have enjoyed a modicum of success as a U-boat commander. Your crew respects your abilities, and Oberkommando de Marine places you in training command in 1943, assuming you were not killed or taken prisoner. So not too far away from a substantial victory, but I'm still happy because I'm put into training command, so I'm probably most likely going to survive the war unless they bomb training center or send me to the Eastern Front. So let's see how many ships I did. I sank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 ships. Man, I can't find Fahrten ingefangt. Gefangen versenkt. Something that I sunk. I don't know that one, but how many patrols I did? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15. 15 patrols. So not too bad. And I think that's I think that is the total tonnage sunk. My German is certainly not fluent. Okay, man, so 15 patrols, 20 ships sunk, and 124,200 tonnage. That is definitely not bad. Definitely not bad, man. Whew, okay, so that guy is the end of a very strange career, I have to say, because, I mean, it was a long career, but I took some damage from aircraft, I think once, and I took minimum damage from escort. I think they got me like 2 times or something. One time was kind of close, but not too bad, to be honest. So again, this game is very fun, and actually if you play it safe, I know some people who haven't survived a single career, but if you do play it safe, there are good ways to actually survive. And yeah, again, I want to give a big thank you to my friend from Italy who sent me this very beautiful upgrade, fan-made upgrade package. I will post link in the descriptions on where you can download this upgrade pack and just print it for free. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for, I don't know how many hours this video is going to be, but it's going to be long. Thank you for staying with me. Stay tuned for more The Hunters, for more Silent Victory, and for the Hunted in the future. and for more stuff in general about World War II which plays solo. And don't forget to subscribe. Stay safe, see you next time.